Click there, click there. Please say words.
Hello, hello.
Okay, it's nice. I thought I forgot to set it up. There you are. There me are. Welcome
Ahoy!
Welcome in, everybody. We're here with the rest of that sentence. You know what it was? I was trying to be like, we're here with Reina Yukimura, and I'm like, I don't remember ever saying your full government non-sanctioned Twitch name.
The only person who says my full government non-sanctioned name is Pitch, so
Yeah.
you're fine.
I was like, we're here with Reina over here, like at. It's caught me. This is how I start. It's caught me off guard, apparently. No, but we're here at the Yapping Porthole. We're here for some ales at the Yapping Porthole, a D&D themed. Yeah, the rest of that sentence, we'll figure it out. It's 2:30. My brain is trying to rack being awake, and not at like work mode, while at the same time weekend mode, and then also doing this, which is normally a night stream. Which I didn't think I'd have to fight my own brain for, but here we are. But I mean, before anything else, guys, what's up? How are you? I don't know what's going on with my tongue today. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, blah 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 blah. Warm-ups happen, but again, before anything really starts, Reina, I'm gonna ask you to do this a few times today because you know how it is.
Okay.
Where can we find you? Who is you? What is your face?
Hi, my name is Reina. I am a Kitsune Shine Maiden VTuber. I like to play lots of cozy games, lots to do with art, lots of co-op games. You can find me on Twitch at Reina Yukimura. You can find me on Twitter. I believe it's Yukimura_Reina.
Oh.
And yeah, I also have a YouTube channel where I used to upload VODs. I don't do that anymore.
I need to do that more now.
I also used to upload shorts. I don't do that anymore either.
That's just because that one became out of habit. I need to start clipping more too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Work hit hard last year that I just stopped doing it.
Felt it. I mean, finding both time and also space to remember.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, especially right after stream when you're like, it's time to get out of here.
Yup.
Right? Like, how do you... I still am surprised at the people who just find time to be like, I'm going to start clipping today. I'm like, you could just do that? You could just do that?
Yeah, it's either I don't have the motivation, but I have the time, or vice versa. It's like, okay.
It's because your brain is like, you know, I know what I have to do, but my brain is also like, yeah, but remember how we feel like we didn't have that much time to do all the other stuff?
Yeah, or you get the motivation like when you're working or something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, well, you know, I can't do it now.
And then finally you find the time and you're like, well, that was earlier though.
Yeah, that was earlier. I don't want to do it now.
I know. Oh God. Well, you just find the brain. Oh boy. So rapid fire questions. Here we go. I got none. I was just joking.
Oh, okay.
Oh man. But quick question. Do you have any current projects you're working on?
Well, I don't know if anyone has talked about it, but I'm gonna take a second to show out Mr. Berry Candy.
Yeah.
I'm currently working on a loading screen for the game The Calling that I happen to be a part of as one of the playable characters. You can wishlist it on Steam and Epic, by the way, and the demo's out. So
wait, Epic? Oh right, Epic.
Yeah, it's on both.
Holy crap. Yeah.
Other than that, not really. Honestly, I'm kind of just like vibing because I'm ready to move in a few months.
Oh, nice.
To like halfway across the country. So I'm trying to take it easy for a couple of months.
I didn't realize y'all were moving that far. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm all the way on like the far East Coast, and I'm moving to Central US. So
oh damn, okay.
Fun.
What is currently? I mean, if this is something more of like I'm prying because I'm nosy. So if it's like a thing that you're willing, what is being your current, like, how has your brain been kind of circulating, like moving? Is that like the furthest you've ever moved out towards that way, or is this like?
Technically, no. When I was younger, I lived in Florida, and
Oh,
there was a period of time where I moved all the way to Michigan,
oh,
which
damn.
is
Okay.
about just as far, honestly, if I'm being
Yeah.
real,
Damn.
from where I'm
Yo.
currently at to where I'm moving to. So it's not too bad, but
Yeah.
it's definitely like a change because I've lived where I have been currently for years now.
Yeah.
And I'm
Ooh.
moving in and around people that I've only ever met online, so that's also kind of scary.
You know what? I
No,
think
it's fine.
that would probably have been like not the strangest, but like seemingly the strangest train of thought that I would not have expected.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
I trust those people with my
Yeah.
life, so we
How-
vibe. We go.
What would you say was the most notable differences from like, because I mean, like Florida, then upwards, and then Michigan at some point, and then back.
Yeah,
What were
I
some
moved back to
notable
Florida.
differences from like each
There-
places?
There wasn't much of one because I wasn't in Michigan long. I was only there
Really?
for like 6 months or so.
Okay.
So, and I lived there during the summer. So I
Okay.
didn't get to experience like Michigan winter. So I would have said the weather, but honestly, it was very similar to
Damn.
Florida weather. Maybe
So
like a little
acclimating
bit
wasn't
cooler,
too
but not
hard.
by much.
Okay.
No, not at all.
Good to. Honestly, that's probably like a good thing in terms of like I wonder what it's like. I do wonder what the Michigan winter is like.
It's apparently real bad. I know where you
It's
live.
a
You get some
test.
pretty bad winters, but I think
No, I
Michigan
think they get
probably
worse.
worse.
Totally
Yeah,
worse.
I think Michigan's probably worse.
Yeah, I do know that like Central America. No, the central time zones go
Yeah,
like a
Central
little bit
US.
hard. Yeah. I was like,
Mhm.
hold on a minute. Let me reword.
Yeah,
But
North
yeah.
Central US gets harsh winters.
Yeah. I'm always a little bit curious. Oh. That being said, kind of jumping in with D&D, considering, like I said, you're new to D&D, and I believe this is your first campaign, yeah?
It is, and it's not even technically D&D, which is really
Yeah.
funny.
Right, because it's I forgot what it was called. Please remind me, because it's gonna
Escape
take me. Escape Wars. There you go. Oh man,
Yep,
how is it? Did you get to try D&D at all, or was it just Escape Wars so far?
The only real thing I've done with D&D is my current roommate and some work friends and me were going to play a campaign,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't get very far because, life and work happened.
Yeah,
So
every
we
time.
only really, we got to making our characters and we got to a session 0, and that was it.
Oh no, that's even less. No, that's
Yeah.
even less. Did you at least get
Yeah,
to try some one shots?
No,
Ooh, damn.
like I
that
said,
hurts.
the only true experience that I've had with D&D are Escape Wars and then that one session 0 that I had, and that was it.
Damn. Okay. Kind of rewinding from like playing the actual game. What was it like going through the session zeros for one for the one that ended up kind of falling through? I would like to know as well as like if you guys had session zeros for Escape Wars, and just were there any differences, anything that stood out for each one?
The main difference was the DMs. The DM that we had for the like actual D&D campaign, he had been a DM before, but he wasn't too experienced, and it kind of showed. He wasn't bad at it or anything by any means of the word, but
you could tell.
Yeah, you could tell that he was like trying, because we were all very different people too, and both me and another work buddy, it was our first times, so he was trying to like work around that as well as having a fully seasoned player.
Yeah.
And with Escape Wars, our DM Leon has so much experience DMing, and I think it also helps because he made the Escape Wars world.
Yeah.
So he really knows
so he just has
how it
all
works.
of those info.
Yeah.
Damn, I
and
want to be like that.
and I know when Pidge was talking about it, Leon is a fantastic storyteller, and he's really good at reading what his players are going to do and working that into the story. Like, he can have an idea of how he wants things to go, but if we deviate from it, he's really good at keeping that deviation and reworking it to make it still work.
Honestly, that's such a skill. Like,
he's amazing at it,
right? Like, it's I don't know if you've seen examples or heard of examples before where there are people who you go, like, the players deviate from the what is it called, not main story, but the DM's intended story or like route, and then a lot of advice is, well, you control the world, so you can literally just shift things, right? And then but if they say it only to that, sometimes it can be taken as like heavy railroading. I don't know if you've gone for that, which is just taking away the illusion of choice. Right? Like there's an illusion of choice.
Pushing your characters to do what you want to do.
Exactly. Yeah. But being able to yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say he's definitely not like that. Like, he'll give us an idea of what he wants us to do, but then if we still deviate from it, he's like, okay, that's fine. We could do this instead. Or I'll bring it back.
Yeah. And honestly, being able to do that, like, again, it really is such a skill. Because, like, even though, like, I know I've had to have situations like that even in my own campaign where the players want to do something, and I think one of the more, not confusing, but like somewhat challenging parts is because a lot of times, like, I imagine they probably want a living world too, is, you know, where there's usually in video games like Baldur's Gate 3, if you're playing, the world somewhat waits, right? Like, if you're in one spot, then events don't happen to a certain extent. Right? But at the same time, they still kind of do. And and that's kind of where my brain is at, and it's sometimes even had like a little bit of difficulty, right? Where the players want to do this, all right, bet, let's do that. Okay, but I also have to start thinking about, okay, but while they're doing that, realistically, what else is happening around the world?
Yeah, and I feel like it's a lot to keep up with, especially if you have like a large world with a lot of interlocking storylines.
Yeah, and they made their own as well as their own system. Jesus, which is crazy.
Yeah, I forget how long he's been working on Escape Wars.
I feel like at least
15, 16 years?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Right?
And he's still working on it. Like, he's still changing things. He's still, like, working on things. Like, our campaign has been, I don't want to say, like, one of the better campaigns that he's run for it, but, like, I've heard stories of he's tried to run campaigns for it before and people have lost interest. So I think us doing this campaign has really helped him because he's been able to, like, fine-tune the combat system. He's been able to look at the spells that he has and change them around to see how they better in this scenario and things like that. And that's been really cool to see too.
Like, work with a group that helps like an actual flow go through, as well as because I did hear that the table chemistry is fairly clean.
Yeah. It helps that he has two really big crackheads, for lack of a better term, in me and Ari, and that we're really, really invested in just the lore in general of Escape Wars. And she and I have just gone to town and had so many conversations with Leon about the lore and wanting to learn more things and wanting to learn what we can do and stuff like that. And I think that's also really helped him.
God damn. No, I'm not jealous at all. I'm kidding. Oh, man. What can you tell me about the lore so far? Even if it's
there's
like
so much.
Lore.
There's so much lore.
Fair enough.
So, I could basically just go on our campaign currently.
Yeah.
So currently, we are playing a party that, to start the campaign, we were supposed to be investigating a cult for one of the Pantheon gods.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that they were looking to create a vessel for her to be able to walk among the mortals. And we were trying to uncover exactly how they were doing that, because of course making a vessel for a god to inhabit is not going to be easy. So it was a lot of finding out like who the gods are, what they represent, the people following them, as well as our own stories being tied into the gods, because the campaign name that we're running is called Avatars of the Divine.
Yeah.
So we've actually announced it in our campaign, like on stream, that our characters are perfect hosts for certain gods. So for example, my character Claire, she is the perfect host for Solon, who is the master of fun. He's a neutral god. His whole thing is playing games, making bets.
He's a gambler.
Yeah. So like a story that Claire is currently going through is she has spoken to Solon, and he's given her information on a tree of twilight that is tied to her family lineage.
Yeah.
Because it's actually her grandmother's magic mantle, which is like her manifestation of her magic. And it's currently dying. So he was asking Claire to heal it so that it doesn't, perish.
Yeah.
So that it can continue to thrive. And so along with that, and now knowing that she's the perfect host of Solon, she has to struggle with the fact that she is not only trying to help her family's mantle, but also wrestling with the fact that she now knows that Solon could take her over at any point.
Yeah. And correct. I mean, I have a guess is what it means to become an avatar, because at that point it's, bye-byesies, right?
Well, no.
But in this case, what would it be?
So being an avatar doesn't necessarily get rid of your character. Like, you're still you.
Okay.
You're still your own person. It's just you have like heightened abilities, and your personality shifts a little bit to get closer to the god that took you over. So like, for example, Solon doesn't care about anything except his bets and his games. Claire, on the other hand, very much cares about the people around her. So when Leon was explaining it to me, he was saying, oh, well, if Solon does take you over, Claire would probably become a little bit more jaded, a little bit more cynical, a little less caring about the people around her, and just wanting the results that she's looking for more so than anything. So like, she's still her.
Yeah.
She's still her. She can still fight Solon's influence, but that influence is still going to be there.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to think about.
It is, because it's like, at least for me, it brings about the thought of trying to remember your personal identity, as opposed to like within your own thoughts, as well as trying to be like, okay, here's the thoughts for the character's thoughts, and then how do you separate that both in roleplay and in like mostly roleplay.
Yeah.
Have you seen signs that like, how early is it in the campaign, or were there any signs already that anyone in the party has been somewhat affected by their patron deity?
No one has really been affected yet. Leon did decide who was going to be the host for who in our session zeros.
Oh, okay.
And we're currently, and I actually looked back to when our first campaign, or when our first session was. It was back in late January. So it's been, we've had a few sessions. He's been sitting on this for a while. If I had to think about it, I think, because none of us have like officially become avatars for our gods yet.
Yeah.
And I think the only person who knows that she's a host for a god in character right now is Claire. So there hasn't really been any effects that I can think of.
Yeah.
Unless
So while the players know who their their connected deity is. Like the character, only one character of the party actually knows.
Yes, only one character has been told.
Oh, gee, nice. Ooh, question. Tell me more about Claire. What is Claire? Who is Claire? Where does Claire come from? What's her social security number? What's their home life like before they came onto adventure?
Ooh, that's a hard-hitting questions.
I'll do it.
So, Claire is a Darthorn, who I believe Pidge spoke about Darthorns because his character is also a Darthorn. They're like the animal people type of character. She is actually specifically a carbuncle, so she is what is known as a mythological Darthorn. So she's a little bit more powerful. She has a little bit more magic. She could use magic inherently versus other Darthorn that cannot, unless they've been blessed by a god or any other circumstances.
Yeah.
Family-wise, she was with her mother and father up until like the age of 5, and then her parents basically had to abandon her because they were on the run from the cult that I mentioned earlier.
Yep.
They were looking for her mother because they were looking for a vessel for Halifor, who is the goddess or the demon lord of lust, I believe is her full title.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they wanted someone powerful, and her mother is also a carbuncle Darthorn. So she is very powerful, and they, of course, wanted a woman. So,
because the demon lord of lust. I'm like, okay, all right. Hey.
Yeah.
Fair.
So she thought her parents had died at 5, and she is now, oh God, how old is she? 24, something like that. She found out before our time skip that we did in campaign that her mother was actually alive. Her father had died, but her mother was alive. Okay. And so she wanted to reunite with her mother and found out she had a half-sister, actually.
Oh,
so,
wow. God damn, okay. She's going in on this backstory. God. Did
so,
you write this, or is this something you found out? Like in character later?
Well, I wrote like the main backstory of like her losing her parents, her mother and father leaving, things like that. Leon actually wrote for her to have her half sister, to have it tie in later on. And then character wise, like I said, she's very loyal to her friends. She's very much someone who wants to do the greater good by any means necessary, and so she started out very cold and very cynical because people hunted Carbuncle Darthorn for their magic, and there is a stigma around them. If you know the story behind like Absol, the Pokemon. Carbuncle in usual lore are meant to represent like luck and wealth and fortune. But there are also people who believe they cause misfortune and disaster because bad things tend to happen when they're around. So she very much tried to hide who she was and had to come to terms with realizing that she is much greater than she actually is.
Oh! Has she had to deal with the general public who have those views on the Carbuncle Darthorns?
Well, there was actually a session or a previous roleplay that I did with Leon to fill out her backstory a little bit more, and she wound up going into a dungeon with a party to help them collect materials, and they realized that she was a carbuncle, and so they were people who saw the misfortunate side of her and decided to try and make her a slave and take her power for themselves. Luckily, she was saved. It didn't actually happen.
I thought they were just gonna be like, yeah, let's blame all the misfortunes on because they're bad luck, and instead, no, let's just try to make money off of this one. Like, Jesus.
Well, yes, they were gonna sell her. They were gonna sell her to the cult, basically.
God damn, they ramped up so fast.
Yeah. But she was saved by one of the important NPCs that we currently have in campaign. After that, it was basically, again, she just kept going through life, being an adventurer, having bad things happen to her. She lost someone who looked up to her like a mentor. She was still struggling with the fact that her parents were gone and that she was alone. And then when she met the party, she still remained pretty closed off. And it was actually Pidge's character, Cyrus, who kind of opened up to her the most pretty quickly. And they're currently at the point that they see each other as siblings, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And then Ari's character also opened up to her a lot, even though they did not see eye to eye in the beginning.
Yeah.
So that's been really nice to explore.
With like a party inter-party conflict ish.
Yeah, because I mentioned that her father had died. She had received a vision from her previous patron goddess, who had told her how her father died, and he had become something known as a soul crushed, which is basically you take the body of someone strong, and then you take the soul of someone else and implant it into the body to make it so that they can rise and fight again, because the body is dead.
Yeah. Oh,
so,
shit.
So early on, they wound up fighting her father, and she found out that he was a soul crush. And the patron goddess told her who had made him that way. Ooh. And it turns out that it was Ari's character's brother.
Oh.
Yeah, so there was a stretch of time where she did not trust Ari's character at all because it was her brother. So and she didn't open up about her brother. So Claire was like, "Oh, well, your brother's been doing bad things. You must be doing bad things too."
Yeah.
Type of thing. Because she didn't trust people.
Yeah.
So, but that was really fun to get over. And now there's a running joke in around the table of Elenia, who is Ari's character, and Claire having a lavender marriage.
Yeah.
Because they're so close, and we make their role plays so gay. It's so funny. But yeah, it's been really fun to see that. Thero's character didn't trust Claire at all because she was like really high and mighty and thought she was better than everyone because of her race. So it was nice to see her develop too, and her and Claire's relationship develop.
Oh my god, there's so much that happened. And how many sessions did this all take?
I'm trying to remember, because everyone got fairly close right before the time skip that we did, which was 4 sessions ago.
Yeah.
So like 12-ish.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. By the way, quick question. Just because I know nothing about the system.
Okay.
How do levels and stuff work in the system?
I believe levels work the same as D&D. So we gain
to 20.
Well, we're currently level 10.
Oh.
And
shit.
I believe Leon was inching for us to get to level 13 before he decides the next stage, which is the Avatar, the Divine portion of us becoming like the actual avatars.
Yeah. The full-blown
adventure.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I believe that's been changed around because we skipped some fights that he wanted us to do. Yeah. So we're a little bit lower level than he was expecting us to be. So I think he's gonna change that number. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to ask.
So
he
like
probably
actually does like experience.
Yeah. So like after every fight, we get a certain amount of experience, and we can of course use that experience as currency, or a currency, to get more spells, to get more skills. He has feats, which are like extra things that we can do. Like for example, a feat that Claire has is called Ice Style, so it can boost her ice magic and make it do more damage, but then she becomes vulnerable to fire magic, for example.
Yeah. Okay. Bit of a question. What is Claire's fighting style?
She is a mage. She is a full mage who specializes in ice magic. And she fights with she has to do melee damage. She actually fights with a big old scythe. It's great, and I love it. It's so fun.
A big old scythe? Like an ice scythe?
No, just like a regular metal scythe.
For now.
But she can like channel her ice magic through it.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because I made her a mage, with like this really long cloak in her
Yeah.
design. She actually made the joke to Leon of, since half of our party can fly, I was like, hey, could I make like a rune to make me be able to fly on my scythe like a broomstick? And he was like,
that thought.
yeah. He was like,
Oh,
yeah,
shit, let's
you can
go!
do that. So now Claire gets to fly on her scythe, and it's great. And it's amazing. It's so fun to roleplay with.
Yeah. Question: does the scythe already have a name, or have you ever made any? I'm saying this because it's a scythe weapon, and even though it's not exactly accurate, have you or anyone already made the icicle joke?
The icicle joke?
As in, like, the ice sickle.
Oh! No, actually, no one has made that.
Bet.
The scythe is actually called the Scythe of Twilight. And it has been a scythe that has been in Claire's family for generations.
Oh, damn! It has its own backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
It
the
was
thing
actually
that
her
you've
mother's
been...
scythe.
Oh, Jesus. I love those kind of items. Just because it's like... How do I say this? One, lower gravity.
Yeah.
And two, it helps the DM distract the players. What? Huh? I didn't say that. That's a secret. Don't worry about it. No, okay.
Well, Claire's lineage, I've been told, is super important because Claire is a third generation Carbuncle Darthorn. Her grandmother was actually the first Carbuncle Darthorn to exist, to be made.
Oh.
And then her grandmother to be made. Like, oh god, I forget who did it, but I believe it was the gods. The gods made the mythological Darthorn. So Carbuncle, Dragon, Phoenix.
Jesus.
I'm sure there's one or two others that I'm forgetting, but those are the main three.
Yeah.
And her grandmother was the Carbuncle Darthorn that was made, and then her grandmother had a bunch of kids, including her mother, and then her mother had Claire. So Claire and Yoon, her sister, are both third generation Carbuncle Darthorn. Yeah. And neither of them really know about their lineage, I don't think. So Claire's also trying to figure that out as best she can, because she's never been told about her lineage. She didn't realize that Carbuncle were... She didn't even know she was a mythological Darthorn. And the funny thing is, because mythological Darthorn were made before a death system was created, mythological Darthorn can't die.
Ooh.
Yeah, they can't die of old age. They can only die in battle. While most of the other races can, of course, die of old age.
Yeah,
so
that's a wild concept of being like, you can only die in battle. No matter what it is you do, your death will be a violent one. And it's like, it's like, can I just, it's like that thing with Valhalla where you can't just have someone like off you, right? You can't, you also can't do it yourself. Like, no, you have to be in battle. I'm like, oh my.
Well, she could probably like off herself or have someone off her for her, but like, the idea is that the Strife, who are like the big race, the big uppity race who think they're better than everyone, they also die of old age, but it takes so long for them to do so that people think they're immortal. But it takes 3,000 years for them to die of old age, so no one technically has yet. So with mythological Darthorn, the fact that they actually can't die of old age is kind of insane. No one knows that.
But you said that was before someone was able to create the like the death system for them. Yeah. Okay.
Like before death was a concept, they were created.
Yeah. Okay, man. I'm that opens up some like food for thought.
I know Leon cackles in his seat. Yeah, I know Leon cackles in his seat whenever it comes up.
Yeah.
I know it is.
Just because it's like, I love the aspect of like long-lived races, like elves and stuff, right? And it's not, sometimes there is that pride that comes in with living so long and just kind of watching everyone else die so soon. But then there's also the thought of like, okay, but what are some values they have that you normally wouldn't expect? Like at least, like in D&D, at least like base official D&D, something that I found interesting was the fact that like elves don't treat getting robbed the same way other people do, right? Like someone robs them and they're just like, "Oh, you need money. Oh, you're a poor thing." Especially like if another elf robs you, then it's like, "Dang, I don't know what you did, but you really, really need money because you have like centuries to live. One way or another, you're gonna have money, right?" And then, but something that would piss them off is if you took the very first flower that someone else had that was given to them by a dear friend, right? Like that is like heinous as a crime, because it's like for a race that actually reincarnates, and as they get older they start to remember their past lives, being able to keep that flower and have it like, you know, remain in the existence, eventually finding your way back to it is like, you know, keeping that friendship throughout the timelines. And if someone were to take it, that's some fuck shit. It's like deleting your Pokemon save. But in this case, it's a race that until someone found a way to let them die, didn't die. So to me, it's like, so what happens with birth? How do they how do they deal with that?
Yeah. And one of the things that Claire's been struggling with character-wise is that she didn't find out that she couldn't die until she was a full adult.
Damn.
Her mother actually told her. And now well, not now, but she was struggling with the fact that she was realizing that Cyrus, who is Pidge's character, the person probably closest to her, will ultimately die, like, soon.
Oh,
like,
soon?
I think Darthorn lifelines are 60 years.
Damn.
And Cyrus is like 29. So
Damn.
he's about halfway through his life. And we're currently in the middle of a war.
Yeah.
So there's also that. So she's kind of realizing the fact that she is starting to get close to people again, and those people are going to be torn away from her again.
Yeah, that's such a... Oh my god, I need to be careful around this topic, I guess, because I'm gonna go into the I'm afraid I'm gonna go into the lore.
Oh, you're so fine. I'm more than happy to share wherever I can.
Just because it's like, if Cyrus is halfway through their life, how is their concept of how is their concept of time different than that of Claire? And it's like, has that at any point clashed in any way?
Well, no, actually, because again, she didn't know that she couldn't die until recently.
Right. So it was like, oh, so did she think she's like, oh, so like we are kind of near the same age, so we're probably gonna die around the same time.
Yeah, she assumed that Cyrus would probably die before her because he's older than her, but she assumed that, oh, well, I'll probably die around the same time because we're both just Darthorn, and I know what the lifespan of a Darthorn is.
Yeah.
But then figuring out that she's mythological and she not only has this elongated lifespan, but also like all of this power that she doesn't know how to channel, she's realizing that she and Cyrus are much, much more different than she initially expected. And they had actually bonded over a late night conversation of wanting to make a better future for Darthorn, because in the world of Escape Wars, Darthorn are really looked down upon.
Yeah.
So they made this promise to each other to want to make a better future for all Darthorn. And so that was like their end-all be-all promise to each other. And there was actually a little bit of an arc that I accidentally stole from Pidge. But Cyrus had his memories taken, and so Claire, wanting to save him because he was her most important person, decided to give up her memories in exchange to get his back. And Leon did something wonderful in that she was able to unlock her memories by having the person that the memories pertain to do or say something specific. So, for example, with Cyrus, when she lost her memories of him, she couldn't remember anything about him. Not that they were so close, not anything that had happened, not anything they had talked about. And the password that Leon had decided upon was for him to talk about that promise that they made to each other. because that was the most important thing that had happened between them, and
Oh,
that's what
damn.
unlocked memories of him to get them back for her.
Oh, damn. Okay. Jesus. Y'all going through some shit on this one. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
I even...
Oh, but it's been so fun.
Yeah. And it's been, what, 12 sessions? How long are these sessions?
Oh, it's been longer than that.
Okay, I was going to say.
It's been upwards of 20. No, not 20. Probably like 16, 17, 18, something like that.
Oh, wow.
Each session usually lasts around 2 to 3 hours.
Damn. You guys are probably getting like a lot done in these sessions. Jesus.
Yeah, and then we also have the downtime RP because
Yeah, I want to know about that as well.
so Leon, his games are always ongoing. There's not a moment
I did hear about
not
that.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
So between sessions, he'll give us the time frame of like, oh, you have 2 days of downtime, and you can talk to 2 NPCs, and you can talk to the other player characters as long as you want. So long as we fit everything into those 2 days, we can do whatever we want. We can talk to people.
Oh.
We can go shopping. We can make things. We can create new spells. Anything we want, so long as it like is relatively like available.
I may have to take a page out of that, because I have been trying to find ways to allow my players to do certain things, right? Because while we haven't reached the longer downtime that would have been allowed to this party, to say in the same way that you guys have, right? I think I think that's actually really good.
Right? I like it a lot.
Yeah. How does that happen? Like, do you guys do it in like I imagine you guys do it in a dedicated Discord server, but like
it's just Discord DMs.
Okay, especially with like the within the so like general DMs or
general DMs. So like for example, if I'm wanting to talk to Pidge, we have a Discord DM group with me, Pidge, and Leon called it's called Pack Tactics because he's a dog, and we found it funny because pack animals. Anyway, so whenever we want to RP with just Claire and Cyrus or any other NPC that Leon wants to bring in, like for example, we have one going on with Solin, we'll just go into that DM group and just start role playing. Like, for example, the one that we have right now is Claire and Cyrus went to go meet with Solin because they both had information that they needed to get from Solin. So it's literally just us talking and getting the information that we need and whatnot that we can't normally do in session because Leon has 6 people that he has to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. Holy crap. I mean, I have to, like, what I'm doing now is that my players have their own separate quote-unquote notebooks within our server. That way, if there's anything secret that they want to tell me, they can. If there's anything within their backstories or like general information that is only known to them, that's where we do it. But having
that's such a good idea.
Yeah, but I mean, having like a separate thing for role-playing between like 2 characters. Oh god, how many rooms are there? How do you guys manage those rooms?
So for Claire, I'd have to look at my DM group. I have one for Claire and Ari's character, one for Pidge's character, one for Suki's character, one for Rowan's character, and then we have other ones like if there are more player characters. So like I have one with me, Pidge, and Ari, one with Ari, me, and Thero, things like that. And we've named them all so that we can like find them easily. So that's not too bad. But honestly, I might ask Leon if he can make like a section in the Escape Wars Discord for that, because that would actually be really helpful to have.
It wasn't even my idea. It was because someone else did it, and I was like, that's a really good idea. Yoink.
Well, it also sucks because like if you don't RP for a while and it's just in DMs, of course you're gonna have to scroll down for a while to find that DM group, and sometimes you miss it. So I might ask him if he can do that. That's gonna be a lot of channels that he'd have to add, but oh well. I digress.
I was gonna say, I was like, because it's like, I mean, it would definitely be for them. I know that there's ways, probably for one player to see just specifically the small like interaction groups and notebook for them, right?
Yeah.
That way it'd be easier. Of course, for Leon, hats off to them. Jesus.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I can only imagine what their Google Docs look like.
Right?
They have character sheets
That's
for every single
crazy.
NPC.
Yeah.
Oh
Yo.
my god. I can only imagine how much information is on his
Yeah.
PC. I want to go through it so
Yeah.
bad. I want lore, I want the story.
And I've only just like begun to do somewhat of like that thing, right? Because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
at least from my end, I know I gotta start getting used to learning how to make stat blocks um, rather than character sheets for NPCs. Part of it is just because
Yeah.
I'm so used to making character sheets just to get the full-on concept of them, and I think I have to
Yeah.
learn how to let go of doing that so that I can actually grant myself more freedom and lock in certain details just to make it easier
Yeah.
for myself. That's
I think
that's
with
a crazy.
I think with Leon, if it's an actual person NPC, he has a full character sheet for the person.
Yeah.
If it's just like an animal or like a beast that we're fighting, he
Yeah.
just has the stat block, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
And then
that's
like an
usually what-
idea of like what spells they can use if they can use spells.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm on the right track then. Heck yeah. That's a good mark, dude. I gotta tell you, their brain. I might have to mine it.
Yeah, bro, I can
That's
I can only
wild,
imagine what goes on in their mind at any given
right?
point in time.
Right? It's like all those random connections that go. Like I know I'm doing that now. This is my first official campaign, and have started to not like freak out in panic, but more of like just surprised in how much information I have managed to hold and find in like connection. So I can only imagine how much more in the scope of them having created not just this world going on, but the system that is involved in between and the intricacies that go in. And it's like, it's a lot easier than you think once you actually get to the, no, sir, no, that's after you, because you've clearly mastered it.
Yeah. And it's also the fact that like he has this overarching story and like how things are meant to be played out, but then he has weaved our characters into it. So like for example, for the second campaign that we're doing after this one concludes, it's not I believe it's a direct continuation, technically speaking, because it's following like the kids of the first campaign. So like for example, my character in our second campaign is going to be one of Claire's daughters.
Oh,
so
it's going to be
literally
that time skip.
Yeah, so she's a direct descendant. And then Pidge's character is actually a son of one of the NPCs in the current campaign, who is actually like Claire's quote unquote brother-in-law. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so Leon very specifically said that for a second campaign, he wanted us to use direct descendants. Because the story that he's telling with our current characters are going to become very important in the years following this campaign after it ends. So he wanted to be able to continue that story through their children and through their descendants. And that's also, oh my god, it blows my mind.
I gotta be real with you. This is your first like official major like campaign kind of thing, and as like part of a table.
Yeah,
man, y'all getting spoiled. You get spoiled. Silly.
I will never take Leon as a DM for granted, because oh my god, he is so good at because I'm not the only new person at the table. Suki is also very new. And then we're also all learning the Escape Wars like style of playing because it's not direct D&D. So like with Ari, Blue, and Pidge, they've all done actual D&D. But Pidge was the only one who's actually done Escape Wars before now. So not only do you have two people learning D&D and how that works, you also have pretty much everyone at the table learning Escape Wars. And Leon has been so good at explaining, at trying to make things as easily followable as possible.
Yeah.
And when we make mistakes, he's been very good at being able to shift the tides and make it so that even those mistakes become very important.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, Blue, his character has a spell that can basically make an army of an undead if he continues to use it. Blue didn't know how that spell worked, so Leon worked it because he was doing it over and over and over again, and he was losing the influence over these undead soldiers.
Oh.
That he couldn't. Yeah, so he couldn't. What's the word?
Maintain.
They wouldn't. He couldn't maintain his influence over them. They wouldn't follow him anymore. So Leon wrote it so that they became their own army and are now working for our enemy. But because they were made by Blue is basically a tracking device. They can find Blue's character no matter where he is.
Oh no!
So in our most recent session, we got that information that he's been making thousands of these undead creatures that can now find Blue's character no matter where she goes. And now we have to deal with the consequences of that. And we're just like, you have made 8,000 plus soldiers basically for the enemy in this war.
No.
What have you done?
No.
And it's all because Blue didn't think to ask or think to realize that this spell that they were working on for our 2-year time skip that we had was going to have consequences.
Right.
But Leon was like, no, everything has a consequence.
Oh man. Wait, how did they like the consequence was unknown to the player?
Pidge is correcting me. My fault.
Okay. That's why he was okay. Blue made his armor out of the undead's bones, and since they are pack monsters, they see him as their own. That's why he is a tracking device. Oh, so he's so Blue is also like. Oh wow, so Blue is somewhat like a tracking device, treated as one, but seen as somewhat of like a spy because of it. Not even like a spy, because they're just like seen as like, yo, one of our boys is with the thing. Okay. Oh man.
But yeah, it was
8,000.
And that was information that Leon had told us like a while back. Like the whole party except for Blue, basically, was told that information a month or 2 ago at this point. So we had been sitting on it and we were wondering when it was going to come into effect.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Blue's armor allows them to become incorporeal, so they become like fully invisible.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell where they are. But they were still attacked by those creatures that he created. And so that was Leon telling us, hey, these are the creatures he created. They can find them no matter where they go. It's like, okay.
Oh boy. That's there's 8,000 of them. That's a good luck to sleep.
Yeah. So now we're in the middle of this war. Not only do we have the people we know we were fighting, we also have 8,000 other soldiers that we now have to deal with potentially, and
that's fun.
It's gonna be a great time.
I love that. Well, actually no, that question was gonna be a little bit thing. I was just about to be like how did the player just kind of end up at the conclusion of I want to make a bunch of these undeads so that I can do this thing, and then eventually the consequences took shape. You said this was just one of those things that happened during the time skips?
Yeah, so I forget how exactly. Pidge may remember better than me, but he had made a spell that could create the undead soldiers. So he was trying to fine-tune it over those 2 years of time skip. But what he didn't realize is if you don't fully kill the ones that you make, they fuck off in their own
so they weren't even intended to try to keep those bones. they were using them as like somewhat experiments, and then
Yeah.
just didn't destroy them as they should have been.
Yeah, so they kept
Oh,
living,
boy.
they kept being created, and since they're a pack monster, like Pitch said, they created their own hierarchy, their own army, and we are under the assumption that the enemy of the war that we're in found them and has taken up using them on their side.
I gotta tell you, man, like, again, I gotta just emphasize, y'all are getting so spoiled in the best way.
Oh,
And y'all
I
are
know.
spoiling your DM in the best way. This sounds so much fun to work with as a DM.
Yeah. One thing that me and Pidge are super happy about is that Leon, like I stated earlier, he's tried to run campaigns of Escape Wars before, but it seems like people have lost interest.
Yeah,
Leon has been he's been so incredibly happy that everyone at the table seems so gung-ho about the campaign, because you have
invested. Jesus.
Yeah, because you have Suki, who's learning the ropes and everything. You have Thero and Pidge, who are D&D veterans and like know how the campaign, like how the intricacies work, but have been able to learn Escape Wars as we've gone along. You have Blue, who is like a full power character. Like, he's a power player. He wants to be strong. He doesn't give a fuck about the lore. He just wants power. And then you have me and Ari, who have been so invested in the lore. And
a surprising balance of like all the different archetypes of players.
Yeah,
and it's like oh my god.
And I feel like Leon has been very, very, very happy about that, and I'm very happy that he has gotten a group together finally that he can hopefully be proud of.
Yeah.
Hopefully
I imagine
we're
also
him
to
happy.
spoil. God damn. See, this is also one of those things where I'm like, what is that? What I love also getting to know is that you guys actually get, like, the party's creativity and investment. Not only is it getting a return, right, but it's also being encouraged to such a degree, and that is something I, not even as a DM but as a player, have been how do I say this, somewhat in search of for a long time, right? Like I had it fairly early on, but you know, as time goes on, like, campaigns are very different and you're not always going to get it to a certain degree, but this is so much more than I have seen from from many campaigns that I've come across of before. Like, I've seen, I tend to just explore some of the live plays that happen on Twitch, just because I'm like, what they going on over there? But compared to those, I'm excited because of like a party that actually goes out to create their own spells, their own thing. I'm like, yes, do these things. You can do these things.
Well, there's also the fact that, like, Leon is very much one for creativity. So he also, not only does he allow you to try and make your own spells, but he also encourages you to do twists on current spells that he has.
Yes, please do more of those things.
So, for example, Claire has a spell currently called Shadow Stitch, which in battle, it just makes it so that you stitch up a wound, you can cauterize it, and it's basically just stitches. But in an RP sense, if I'm doing like an RP downtime or I'm between battles, I can also use it as like tendrils of rope or shadow, and I can manipulate it in that way. And I asked him, like, very quickly, I looked at it and I read what it did, and I'm like, hey, Leon, could I do this? And like, I believe I asked him specifically, like, could I tie up someone with it, or could I bind someone with it? And he's like, well, yeah, go for it. I don't care. I'm like, oh, neat.
Oh man.
So he's very much one to like, if you can think of it and
we can make it work.
It's not, and it's not like super off the wall crazy.
Exactly. Like,
it's
not like a broken thing. It's just like a thing that you realize is a possibility, and you're not even like creating necessarily a new spell. You're taking a spell that you already have and like using an aspect of it to just allow you to do a different thing. Man, fuck, man, I'm living for that shit.
And then there's another spell called Secrets Among Friends that allows the user to be able to telepathically talk to somebody. So what my character did is she and Ari's character created runes for it.
Yeah.
And then we are able to implant those runes into a tattoo that somebody can get. So long as somebody has a matching tattoo to Claire, she can then use Secrets Among Friends no matter where they are.
Yeah.
And she also made lockpicks because she used to be a locksmith before I changed her job to something else later on. But she created lockpicks that do the same thing. So they're kind of like telephones. So she can connect to somebody with a matching lockpick and be able to speak to them no matter where they are. And Leon was like, that's such a good idea. You literally just invented cell phones.
Cell phones, yeah.
Like, you know
it's
what?
Funny because it's like, it's not even like really a cell phone. You just invented a cell phone antenna.
Yeah.
And he is that. I like it. Especially because it's not just being like, yeah, you could like telepathically speak to anyone around the world. You have to have the rune. So it's like you have to have their phone. Yeah, the tattoo, like, and it. How does magic work in this setting / game style? Because what I'm thinking of is you're not just creating the rune. The rune itself is empowered in the time that it is imbued into whatever it is imbued in.
So there are things called power words that have the magic enhanced into it. So like there's a power word for fly, for example. So when I was giving the idea for Claire to be able to fly on her scythe, what we did is we had an NPC teach her the power word for fly, and then she and Ari's character made a rune that encompassed that power word, and then they fitted it into her scythe. So now she can call upon the power of that rune to be able to fly.
Oh man, I'm digging it. I'm not jealous, but okay, no, I'm actually
not jealous, but I'm kind of jealous.
I'm somewhat deeply envious right now because of, like, I get it. I fully understand right now, or at least I fully understand a good portion of why Leon is having such a good time with this, because hardly have I seen this level of flourishing creativity. Like I said, like I've checked out a lot of places, and I know that there are a lot of like creative DMs, but most of the time you're going to spot like DMs who are ambitious for such a thing, right? Like I am no different. However, finding a table is like a unicorn. I'm not even joking. Like it's actually like finding a unicorn to find it, like to get a table who not only fucks with that shit, but it's also like allows for it to an extent of, you know, it could be broken, it could not be broken, however which way you go, you're doing it for the table, right? And it's god damn it, especially because I'm trying to do that shit with my own table, where I realized 2 of my players are new and 2 of them are veteran, but the 2 veterans are not necessarily used to going like outside of the rulings as much. They're used to playing with the rules, but not like they're used to playing with the rules, and especially like the official rules, and min-maxing, using it to their advantage, however which way that works. But where I like to flow in is right around where Leon is too, where if you can imagine it, right, in character especially, is not only will I likely allow it, but also that I encourage you to do so, because it creates a more, how do I say this?
Immersive experience?
Yeah, an immersive experience. And it's like, because you have an intimate knowledge of your character, the things that you create through them become wholly unique to that character, right? Like that way, no 2 games become the same, and you'll never get the same build between however many campaigns that you go through.
Yeah, because like for example, as far as I'm aware, Claire is the only one who has created like the communication lockpicks.
Yeah.
So if we were to play another campaign in this era that we're currently in, we probably wouldn't have another character do that.
Exactly.
For example. Yeah. And then Leon is so good at bringing out the creativity in us. Like, for example, if we're about to kill someone on the battlefield, he will literally ask us, "Hey, how do you want to kill them? Do you want to decapitate them? Do you want to kick them across the street? Like, how do you want to do this?" And it's just like little things like that that are really bringing out not only the characters' personalities, but us as the players too. Because, for example, with Thero, we all know Thero. She's super sweet, super kind-hearted, wouldn't hurt a fly. Her character Rowan is so bloodthirsty and so battle hungry. It is amazing to see her flip-flop, because then after session, she's back to being Thero. She's really sweet and kind. But her character Rowan is such, like, for lack of a better term, Rowan has been such an asshole, especially to Claire in the beginning, that seeing the dynamic between the two of them is wild to watch.
Ooh. Question. I mean, I have my expectations because you all know each other, right? How did more than the characters, right? But how did the players and like DM and just like, the inter-table chemistry, how did you guys prep for like inter-party conflict?
I don't think we prepped.
So you guys were just like, fuck it, we all know each other, like,
because
okay, bet.
For example, there was an RP a while back of us having like a group huddle to collect information, and it had been right after Claire had accidentally killed one of the goddesses. And she was trying to hide the information because she had been told that the information that she now knew could get anyone killed. Like, even her, for just knowing it, they could be killed. That's how the goddess died. And so she was trying to be really tricky with her words and try to give as much information as she could without outright saying that she didn't want to hurt her party. And Thero's character wanted nothing but the information. And she wound up literally grabbing Claire by the throat and screaming in her face before throwing her to the ground. And afterwards, Thero had messaged me and she's like, "I'm really sorry. That wasn't too much, was it?" I'm like, "No, do more of that. That was amazing."
That's funny.
But I don't think we prepped. I think, honestly, like, we kind of knew how our characters were going to play out. Like, we had an idea. We were told after all the session zeros, we could see each other's, like, notes on our character sheets and whatnot, because we can see everyone's character sheets. They're not hidden from us or anything. So we kind of knew what we were walking into, but as the campaign has developed, we've definitely like leaned into certain aspects. Like, Claire and Cyrus have their unwavering loyalty. Rowan has her uppity kind of personality that she's trying to work through. Elenia, who is Ari's character, has her past that she's trying to fight with her family, not having been like good people. So she's trying to fight with that while trying to maintain her relationships with the party. Because her family has hurt the party a lot. Like, her brother killed Claire's father. Her brother literally broke down and remade Cyrus from the ground up, basically. So he's not even like an actual person.
Fuck.
Yeah, so having to deal with that and having to try and figure out how to balance that has been so much fun, and just, oh my god, I'm so excited because I don't want this campaign to end, but I want to play our campaign 2 so badly, because we have new characters to play with, obviously, but we have new relationships to kind of foster too.
Yeah,
and
it's always the bittersweet.
I want to play this game forever. It's so fun.
Oh man, I'm not jealous, but here's oh man, you know what? That's I'm already getting ideas. This is the entire point of this podcast style stream, to steal ideas. Now, oh man, okay. I need to rewind a little bit just because
Okay.
there are questions that I definitely want answers
Yeah.
to, right? Uh, because this is your first official campaign, TRPG wise,
Mhm.
where there, like, did you all come into this already having like roleplay experience, or is this like your first ever like actual roleplay? I don't know what I
I've
mean
never
by that.
I've never role played like at a table before. It's
Mm-hmm.
always been like I did Forum RP for a long time when I was younger.
Oh,
Like a long time. So I do have that kind of experience in like
yeah.
text-based, but actually like talking to characters and having to actually act like them
Mm-hmm.
has been something that I've very much been learning as I go. Like me now compared to my session 0 is night and day. Session 0 was rough because I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what
Mm-hmm.
to do. Leon had to literally like hold my hand and guide me through it, which I
Don't
didn't
look back.
mind
Just hold my.
obviously.
Yeah.
But now because I've gotten so used to playing Claire and I know her personality, because her personality is not much different from mine. Like she's kind of cynical, kind of whimsy, loyal type of thing. So like
Yeah.
she's kind of just me dialed up a little bit in some aspects. So
You
it's not
okay?
hard to play
Usually
her.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not hard to play her, but it was definitely a hurdle to get over of having to do it basically in person, even though it's online, but like it was
Yeah.
basically in person. Um, but learning that I think has been my favorite, aside from just learning about the lore of Escape Wars, but being able to find that um what's the word?
That balance.
Being,
That.
yeah, the balance of knowing like how Claire would react and
Yeah.
how she would go about doing things and figuring out things.
Woo, dude, I love that. And like, kind of, like, I mean, I'm gonna do another rewind just because there are.
Mhm.
Oh man, but kind of going in from there. Were there any aspects of both? Because um, Claire is like a heightened, is a little bit like a heightened personality of yourself, right? But what
Yeah.
was the most? What would you say was the most notable character bleed that you found within Claire and yourself? Like, right, like eventually you start to see the line between character and player, but like, where was there any point that you noticed like, oh, that
Definitely
line
her
kind of blurred?
definitely her self-deprecation.
Oh.
Because while like Claire as a character is very self-deprecating because all her
Hmm.
life she's been told that she's this misfortunate child who
Hmm.
who only brings disaster and things like that. And I personally, as a person, have
Hmm.
had like a lot of friendships fall out and have been blaming myself for things a lot of the time. So that was definitely the biggest bleed because I found that when she was self-deprecating, it was very easy to write,
Hmm.
especially because when she would self-deprecate, it was usually to Pidge's character, which is very which very much mirrors mine and Pidge's relationship too.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was that was probably the most, but also just her loyalty of being like, oh well, I might not be a good person and you might not care about me the way I care about you, but
Yeah.
I do care about you and I will always care about you type of
Well,
thing.
damn. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So two part question answer kind of a thing.
Hmm.
Was there, within that level of character bleed, was there any sense of catharsis that came with it, and were there any, like, was there any point where you were like, oh, this character, because of like this, um, this bleeding psyche and changes, did you find yourself like at any point, like, mind you, TRPG is not like a it's not a psychology session, it's not a
Yeah, it's not
therapy,
actual
but it
therapy.
is therapeutic, right?
Yeah.
So was there at any point that you were like, oh shit, um well, okay, if she can do it, I can do it, or better yet, she can do it because I've learned to do it, right? Has there been any point where you felt that sort of change in a positive aspect, both in the character and yourself? I guess that's one part of like, was there any like cathartic experience?
Honestly, that's um oh my goodness, words are hard.
Yeah. I'm trying to come up with them right now.
So the huddle that I had talked about with Thero's character and mine, of like Thero's character kind of just grabbing her by the throat and screaming at her, that was really cathartic for some odd reason, because it made me realize that Claire maybe was a little bit too loyal and too careful. I've found over the past few years that I've been really careful with my wording around people, and I kind of change the things I want to say because it might not be something someone wants to hear. So I kind of be a people pleaser and tell them what they want to hear versus what they need to hear.
Yeah.
And I realized that was what Claire was doing, because of course she didn't want her friends to die. She didn't want anyone to get hurt because of the information that she was going to give them. But it was also information that they very much needed, and it was going to come out eventually anyway.
Yeah.
So that was something that I realized, in that, hey, don't hide things from people just because you're scared. Because if they want to learn it and they're ready to take that risk, then you need to believe in them in that aspect instead of
to be able to take that sort of news. Yeah.
Yeah, and instead of believing that you can save everyone, because you can't.
Yeah. And honestly, I love this sort of it's because if you heard a change in the way that my sound came through right now, it's because I just switched rooms.
Oh, you're fine.
I love that sense of, one, character development in the character, but also in terms of like the players, because I myself had to go through that. So I love hearing about from other players, especially from a perspective of a new TRPG player, because it's been a hot minute since I had to go through that myself.
Yeah.
Right. But honestly, that's such a rich experience. Like, just hearing about the fact that kind of letting yourself let go of, how do I say this? It's not so, it's part of like people pleasing, right? Where you try to read, it's not necessarily code switching, but you're trying to read, you're trying to be considerate, but you become over considerate of other people.
Yeah.
And it's like it ends up, it ends up with a negative result, because you're trying to solve a problem that's not meant for you to solve, and it's like it's just something you go through the hard way. But what I love about TRPG is that it's such a, like, especially with the right table, it becomes such a it's become such a safe environment for letting your brain loose, and just like, one, these consequences are fictional, but the experiences and the improvements are very much real. So it's like, one, I'm glad you got to do that, and two, goddamn.
It also helps because, like, all of us are pretty close. Like, I think the only person who's kind of an outlier is Blue, because again, it's all of Revelry, and then Leon, who's with us and talking to us constantly. Blue's kind of the only outlier, just because he's busy IRL, so he's never on Discord.
Yeah.
But it's really been an eye-opening experience to learn more about these people that I call my best friends too, because I'm realizing that there may be ways that they react to something that I didn't think they would react to like that, or finding another side to them that I didn't know existed. And I'm sure that they could say that about me too with Claire. And it's just really fun to not only learn about these characters and learn about the world and everything, but to also learn about the players around your table.
The people who play them, Although it was hilarious hearing you say that there was something cathartic about the way Thero grabbed my...
He's grabbed me by the neck and threw me on the ground.
Hold on a minute. Hey,
hold on a minute.
And I'm like, okay, well, phrasing.
Well, You know.
Yeah, clip it. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know if there was a way I could phrase that.
There was no way to phrase that safely.
It's
Oh,
okay.
man.
It's Pride Month, everybody.
Hey! Oh, man. Saying that made me not like. I had a thought of where I was going, and then the joke came in, and I'm like, ah, frick. You know what? I sacrificed that thought. Worth it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's. Am I remembering correctly? Because when I had Pidge over, I know you guys said you're like, yo, moving. Did you say that there was a possibility of getting to do live games?
Okay, so story time. Me and Paige are
Yeah.
actually moving in together
Yeah.
as roommates.
Yeah.
And we are actually moving into the same city as Leon.
Aye.
Suki is actually planning on moving nearby as well in a year or two's time. And then, of course, we can have Ari and Thero come visit us. So, yes, there is the possibility that we will have
Streamer
live
village.
sessions.
Streamer village. It's happening.
Oh, I wish.
Imagine.
I don't know if I want Thero to come live in the US. Visit, sure. Live,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Live is different. Live is a strong word.
Ari, I would take in a heartbeat because she already lives in the US, so it's fine. So
Yeah.
Ari can come stay with us whenever she wants. But Thero, stay in Canada.
Man.
Stay safe.
Oh, man. I'm excited for if and when you guys get to do live table games because
We want to do at least one.
I miss that
shot,
shit.
but-
You cannot do just one. It's impossible. I miss that shit.
Well, you know, having Thero come to the US is expensive. So
yeah, the games. I mean, like, cause full on, like my Thursday group started off live table games. We had to move into online because one, our friend moved like at least 2 to 3 times now since 2020, right? And he's like, we were all here in the East Coast. We were all able to just go into our Dungeon Master's basement, which was huge. And then just like we stacked 2 like folding tables together and just laid out a big old paper, like grid paper on the table and put like a transparent film where I brought markers and we're like, we're just gonna draw this. Who needs? Do we have minis? No? Chess pieces? Bet. Fuck it. We do that. That's the whole thing. And it's just like, it's so makeshift, but it's so much fun because you're just, everyone's like drawing. The DM is like, I need help. Like before we go into combat, I just need help setting up. And it's like, yeah, can you guys copy this map? I'm like, bet. I want to draw. I want to doodle.
Yeah, Paige has already told me that our garage or whatever extra room we have is going to be a D&D room, and I'm just like, okay, this is fine.
Get the vibes. All I'm saying is some thrift stores are pretty like they got some good stuff for decoration.
Oh yeah.
I need to go thrift shopping. I gotta hit a $20. No kidding.
I'm about to spend so much money on filament because Leon has a 3D printer and I want to have him print out our characters so bad. I'm gonna spend so much money. But it gives me the dopamine rush, you know?
Plus you finally get to roll like dice for a reason. I mean, do you guys roll like within like a virtual tabletop thing, or do you guys have like the table trust to roll your own dice IRL?
So we use Roll20 for our main campaign. For one shots, Leon has a bot in Discord that can roll dice, so we use that.
Oh my god, dude! I have so many dice sets. I need to get rolled.
I used to have dice sets, but I lost them in a move, so I don't have them anymore. But I'm ready to buy more.
It's the only move. It's the only move. You know what? Was it lost, or did the movers see and were just like, those crunchy rocks,
delicious?
I'm like, I see mine. I'm like, these are going to be an heirloom. You don't understand. People are gonna hate me for turning these. These are my family jewels. It's a hoard. It's a hoard. You can't just stop.
It's a hoard.
Yeah, especially because some of them are actually like, slightly gemstone. I mean, my rose quartz dice is my baby, so
yeah.
Ain't nobody taking that. Oh.
Yeah.
With some having like a, I don't care if it's a fake pearl. It looks real enough when it's inside the die, and it looks pretty, and I cannot let that go. Oh my god.
No, that's so valid.
Yeah. Quick question.
Yes.
I just realized, time-wise, we've been at this for about an hour and a half. How you feel about taking a break for real quick?
Oh, I'm good with that.
All right, bet. So let's take a break for about like 10, 15 minutes, and then like we'll just come back a little bit fresh. So, guys, I hope you've been enjoying this. I know I have. I have more questions. I have more questions, especially for you as coming in, just because I want to ask. I want to know a little bit more of your experience with the forum RP. I've only heard like a few other people who have had that experience, but I want to know yours, especially when it comes to the differences between that your current campaign and any other role playing that you've done around it, as well as some sort of expectations that you think you may have had developed, or like for the possibility of getting to do live tables sometime in the near future, right? So I do when we come back, I do want to ask more about that.
Yeah.
So everybody, we're gonna take a break for about 10-15 minutes, after which questions for Reina. Hell yeah. And remember, if you guys have any questions for either me or for Reina, please ask it in the chat. We'll try to answer as many of them as we can, because we will tangent at least 50 times, right? But I hope you're having a good time, and we'll be right back after these non-messages. Okay, wait a minute. How do I do this again? I know what I'm doing. I'm a streamer. Eh. There we go. There we go. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Uh,
Welcome back.
I never know how to return from these things, but hope you enjoyed the commercials, if there even were any. I forgot if I can. I forgot if I can actually force them. I'm pretty sure I can, but I totally forgot.
You can through the dashboard.
Ooh. Oh, okay, bet. I need to think about that. I need to see about that. But yeah, like I was saying just before we came back, on the topic of like, I mean, I guess just before the topic of role playing slash like play acting and improv, I do want to ask, coming into this campaign and where you're at now, what would you say was one of what's it called? Was a skill that you had the biggest amount of improvement in, right? Like even if it was like a weakness that became like that you developed and overcame, or if it was something that you were already strong in and just kind of even more fortified. I would like to know.
Ooh, that's a question. Honestly, probably investigation.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, because my character's done a lot of investigating for things in the campaign. Of course, we all have, but
yeah, but I love that. Hell yeah.
But mine and Arya's character especially have done a lot, especially together. So I have always, well, not always, but typically been someone who kind of just goes with the flow with things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm being told a story, I want to play that story type of thing. So being able to investigate and look for clues that could change that story wasn't really on my radar. And then I started playing with Ari, and they are very much someone who wants to find out every little thing they can.
Oh, damn.
And so being able to investigate specifically with them in roleplay very much got me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
To actually like ask questions and try and figure out like how things work and what we're finding.
I love that. I love that. Hardly do I ever get an answer for improvement in investigating, especially because that's one of my, and you can tell because of the shift in me speaking faster. That's one of my favorite aspects of going through, because it's such a, one, reveals a lot of lore, right?
Yeah.
And two, I think people overlook how much, what's it called? How much you end up affecting the overarching story half the time and campaign because of it. Because you're getting involved with the people, the sites, and like the environments around you. But it's also like, actually, you know what? Before I get there, how did you improve on your investigation, and how did you start?
The main thing was just like asking more questions for things, or asking to look into something specific. Like, me and Ari's character had a little investigation duo time where we went to a place after a battle that had a lot of like leftovers from that battle that were like clues of what the bigger picture was that was going on. And so that was fairly early on, so my character kind of just took a back seat and let Ari's character do the main thing, like looking for things. But then after things continued, I found that I was able to start thinking about, oh, I see this. What can I glean from this? Or I noticed this thing and things like that. And it also helps because Leon will ask for an awareness check or ask for a sense check for us to like be able to figure out what's going on. Or if we saw something specific, then we can do an awareness check to try and glean more information from it.
Is that the same Leon right now that I see in chat? Or
that is indeed our DM, Leon Subicki.
I was like, wait a minute. Hang on a minute. Oh man. Oh, that's awesome. I do want to ask, right? Like, do you remember a point where what's it called? You know, as you kind of like originally began from your like investigations, was there a point where you started noticing a change in the way you formed questions, a change in the way you approached situations, right? Like, half the time, not even half the time, a lot of times in the beginning of investigations, you tend to start off with little to no information, or even not really knowing where to start, right? But where do you remember at some point where you were like, where it kind of just like clicked on, hold up, I think I know.
I think it came into being when a lot of the information from my session 0 started coming to light.
Mm-hmm.
Because my
Oh.
session 0, there are still things from my session 0 that I don't know, and there are things that I just figured out. So for example, in my session 0, my mother had left me a note to find someone specific. I had no idea why, but I had a conversation with my mother in character recently, and it just suddenly clicked in my brain that, hey, that was a thing. By the way, Mom, you left me a note. What was that about? And I got the information. She was like, "Oh, well, I told you to find this person because I got this prophecy. So here's this prophecy that I can give to you now." And it's just like, oh, wow. So yeah, I think the main thing is just Leon, again, has done so many tie-ins over the course of the entire campaign, and there are things that we figured out, or that we know about, that we still haven't figured out the like actual story behind it yet, or we have bits and pieces and we're still trying to piece it together. And he's just so open. He's very much a person of, there's no wrong questions, and even stupid ones can give you answers.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's see, that's also why I love investigation, is that everything is, to a lot of people, what I've seen them have when they're not used to investigation, right, is that they think, you know, even like when you reach a dead end, it's just a dead end. But the truth is, I've started, like, after a while, I started treating investigation as just everything is information, even the seemed failures, because so long as you know how to perceive and approach a success and a failure, or how you form your question, you're gonna get an answer no matter how good or bad the role is. And so hearing that is, one, wonderful, but also two, I would like to know, what's it called? How did you start, like, informing your questions, right? Because and how do you form your questions now? Like, do you have a method where you usually start off, or has it stayed? Do you think that it stayed relatively the same?
I feel like it stayed relatively the same. I'm very much someone on the table who kind of just asks the first thing that comes to mind. Hey. And I'm also someone who gets really easily sidetracked. Same. So, like, I'll ask a question and I'll get an answer, but it'll be an answer that's not quite the full thing, but it'll give me information for something else. And so I'll like immediately latch onto that other thing, and I'll start asking about that instead. And I know it throws Leon for a loop. I know it does. I'm sorry, but because, like, for example, when Claire was talking with Solon at one point, and we were playing a game, and he was giving me information, and I was initially asking him something. I can't quite remember. But it completely took a back seat because he had given me the information that I was his perfect host. And so my brain immediately latched onto that and completely forgot about my initial question. And so we played out that RP, and then after that RP ended, I went back to Leon. I'm like, I didn't ask my other questions.
I love that, because Leon said, investigation is a tool to give one or two characters in a party spotlight to tie in. You learn this about it because of your experience or knowledge or expertise. That is, and to drop lore. That is such a true goddamn statement, because I know I've been doing it.
Yeah, that's one thing Leon does well, is he drops lore like it is nobody's business.
Right.
And we have a joke at the table now that we're all afraid of gluten, because every time he drops a piece of lore, he'll type in our like main DM group of like all of us together.
Yeah.
He'll just type breadcrumbs in italics.
Oh
So
man.
we all have just a fear of bread. Because anytime he types breadcrumbs, we all get scared because he never tells us like who it's for or what it's pertaining to. He just types breadcrumbs. So if the person that it's actually pertaining to doesn't speak up, no one else knows.
Oh man, that's so funny. That's such a good way. One, that's such a fun way to lead your party by the nose, uh, and also just to kind of do stuff. I have been learning to do it a little bit better now as a DM because I didn't really. I think I was learning from my friend who kind of opened my eyes to different ways to what's it called to be a dungeon master. A little bit more on because I'm used to it being a certain way, and it helped me form my own questions, where I tended to lean on my own roleplay to kind of let it happen, right? But I also had to learn from a few different people just to improve, because
Yeah.
while guides and YouTube videos exist, there's just some things you have to learn the hard way, right? And I'm like, oh, thank goodness. So
But you also have to learn like your own style of it too.
exactly, and I've been having fun with using certain lore drops to allow for fun cliffhangers.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like what I have found is even if it's only been maybe 2.5 hours, there has been actually no, there has been a session where I had to end us early because it was only like an hour 45 in, but it felt so good to be like someone in the party managed to find and reveal something that I wasn't expecting them to. And I was like, that is such a fun reveal. I'm going to do it now. And because you did it this early into just the grand scheme of everything, and I didn't plan for it. And that's what we're going to call session. Right? Because sometimes you just have to end on the height of the vibe. And I'm like, I'm sorry. This week we got to end a little bit early.
Yeah, Leon's done that plenty of times.
Yeah.
And what y'all don't hear, because we stream all of our sessions, of course. What y'all don't hear is us freaking the fuck out after we actually end stream.
Yeah.
And we dogpile this man, namely like me and Ari, but we dogpile this man and are like, why did you end it there? Why did you
It's so fun. It's such a pleasure to be able to do that. And in walks to BBEG, invited to the peace negotiations by the king, and that's what we call it. Excuse me.
Yeah, he's done that before.
That's fun. Oh man, are my players here just to be like, hold on, just to make sure. They're not, because I totally plan on doing a similar thing. It's so much fun. One, finding ways to introduce bad guys early, to be like, here's someone that's like, what's it called? When your table knows you, they will know when you're introducing something that is not meant to be defeated. Like there's a chance to maybe hurt them, right?
Yeah.
And it's more about like, hey, if you overcome them, then you overcome them. But this is just to show you, you are not you are at the threshold of where you are. Like you have earned your way. Here's your somewhat goal, and it's, oh boy, like this past Monday, no, 2 Mondays ago, leading up to this past session, what I had fun with is ending the session on the appearance of a gargantuan dragon, which to anyone like who plays Dungeons and Dragons, gargantuan is about a 20 by 20 foot at least style creature on a what is it called, on like a square map, right? Like a grid-based map, where you take a 4x4 block, and the players are only about 1 square, so that's already towering. This thing was big.
Yeah.
So I let them stew for a whole week to think about the fight, because it's like, this motherfucker really just put a dragon right in front of us. Of course, it's going to happen right when we're chasing an enemy that is near their death, only to reveal later on that, so this big thing was meant as an illusion, but I let you play it on. It was one way for me to be like, I want to see if these players will run or if they'll fight, or how long it will take them to realize the truth. And it's boy, did I realize that my players will fight. If that was a real thing, no, that thing was at their level. Oh boy. Imagine trying to take down 400 HP.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a player, learning when to run is such a hard thing. It really is. Because it's like, how do I say this? They're at level 6. No, not level 6. Jesus, don't tell them that. They're at level 5. So that's, in terms of D&D, that's literally the first quarter of adventure, where you're just nearing the end of being a novice adventurer into a seasoned adventurer, right? Or not even seasoned, just like a fully matured to a mature adventurer, like experienced. They were not ready, but if they had learned to hide, it would have been interesting, but at the same time, letting them figure out was just genuinely fun. That being said, did you guys ever have such fights where you had to question whether or not to run?
Honestly, the end of Act 1? No, sorry. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, the end of Act 1, I believe. Leon can correct me if I'm wrong. We actually fought the big bad of Act 2. And we figured out that he, one, had a spell that we all had access to. We could all read what it did. We were just really, really stupid and didn't think to read it. But he had captured Alania into a water bubble. And the spell, if you attack it from the outside with a physical attack, it breaks. Leon didn't tell us that. And I asked this man, I was like, hey, if I charge at this bubble, will it break? And he flat out told me no. I know he did. He tells me he didn't, but he did. He told me no. And so I was like, okay, well, cool. And so he told us this was a DPS check, and if we do enough DPS, we can break it. We didn't do enough DPS. We managed to save Alania because the big bad decided to put himself into the bubble for the DPS check. So she was fine. But when we did damage, yeah. But when we did damage, he after a couple of turns, I believe it was 2 or 3 turns, he wound up healing it all back.
Yeah. Oh, so, who knows?
Yeah, and so he wound up getting away from us, and that was the end of Act 1.
Did they hamster ball away? Did they?
No, he got out and ran.
Okay. Did they Zorb run?
But we were left to wonder, A, that's a really powerful spell, oh my god. B, how was he able to heal all that damage? Because we weren't like, oh, you did say who knows. Okay, you know what? Never mind. Get you then. Anyways,
high stakes. It's listen, in the heat of the moment, you hear a thing and your brain will filter it in however it chooses.
But the main thing was because we weren't super inexperienced. Like, we did a ton of damage. How was he able to heal all of that back?
Yeah.
And that was like the biggest question that at least my character had for the end of the act. And it turns out that later on in Act 2, when we got more information about the guy, that Claire actually was able to figure out, she figured out, or was told, that he was a sort of demigod for like the actual big bad of the campaign, or of the like actual like series, I believe, like of Escape Ward. So he was able to heal all of that damage because he had like godlike powers.
Yeah. Oh man, that god regeneration.
Yeah, and so now we're in the middle of a war, with this guy's armies that we haven't fought him since then. We have not even met up with him since then. But now we're in a race against time to try and stop him from allowing the bigger bad to come to fruition and be able to like actually do things.
Jesus. There was a moment where you were describing like the situation, how were they able to like recover, and I was like, oh man, how would they? And until you said demigod, I was like, is this like a Loki situation, like Loki from Marvel Thor situation, where it's just and it's funny because I'm using that now, where it's just a way of using illusions just to be like, I'm fine, when if you manage to see past the illusion, oh brother, I'm doing my best around here.
Yeah.
But reveal of a demigod, that's when you go, oh no.
Yeah, and that's also where I kind of fell into the investigation scenario, because my character, because I found it out from Elenia's brother, who had killed her father, I had been wanting to speak to him for so long, and I kept getting, like, shafted out of it, because, like, I had other people first, or I had to do this and that first, and I just could never speak to him. So finally, when I got to speak to him, Claire got so much lore
Jesus.
that I haven't even known. And so I was sitting in this RP with Leon, and I'm just staring at my screen wondering how to respond, because I'm like, you did not just tell me all of that information. There's no shot. You did not just give me that to sit on. And that's where the huddle came in, where I said that Thero's character had gotten mad because he was the one that told me, hey, I wasn't able to tell anyone about this because everyone I told died. And you just tried to have a goddess look into it, and she was killed. So Claire's oh, this is really serious. I can't tell anyone. So I had to sit on all of this information and not be able to share it with anyone, even outside of character, because Leon swore me to secrecy for it because he felt it would make a good, better story. Yeah. And I'm just like, I have to talk to somebody about it. I have to. I can't sit on this by myself.
A part of like being like, rather than, if I tell you, then I'd have to kill you. If I tell you, brother, I'm trying not to get you killed, please. Yeah. Claire learned that he has specific magic that he can only use a certain amount of times, which is god magic for how he healed himself due to being a demigod. A certain amount of time. Oh, because the demigod. Okay. I get it. That's good info right there. That's good info. Write that down. Certain amount of time. Oh man, that reminds me of like, 2 health bars, because I know, I think, well now it's a new-ish mechanic that came out around like 2024 for D&D, where it's like mythic actions are now a thing, but in order to get them, you take down certain boss level monsters, and some of them regain their full health and others regain a portion of it but become harder to do a thing. And I'm like, bet if it's I wouldn't assume that it's something like that, but having certain mechanics come in to change the pacing of a battle, where you realize you're now at phase 2 is always fun.
Yeah,
it's also just being like, I love battles, not even just as a DM, but as a player. I love battles when you just get to use, where you feel like you get to use your entire arsenal to their fullest, right? Not necessarily using all of your spells and stuff, but in the sense of like, you're using, like, you've just become competent at navigating your character sheets. They're like, oh, I have these items, I have these skills, I have these things, and it's just like letting your character create, like, your creativity flow in battle. And I'm like, oh, I feel so smart. We gotta do it. Oh man.
Yeah. Ooh. And that's one thing. One thing I've noticed about our campaign is that we're not using a lot of items. Like a lot of the items we're getting that aren't just like our gear are just investigative items. You can actually go to my character sheet and look at what Claire has.
Please.
So like yeah, the only items that she uses really are her potions to like get back her spell points and her health, of course.
Yeah.
She also has what I've deemed a never melting coin. So lore-wise, lore-wise, because she follows Solin, who's all about games and fun and things like that, she has made a coin because her armor makes her have to flip a coin every day to find out her fate for the day. So if it rolls heads, she gets advantage outside of or inside of battle, and is privy to or is vulnerable to melee attacks, I believe.
Yeah.
And then if it lands on tails, she gets advantage outside of battle. So lore-wise, I made her make this special coin that she flips every day, and it's tied to Solin, but it also is her own magic, like her own spell that she created.
Oh, I love that.
And then she also has things like her scythe, things like that. Her communication lockpick that she has. She also has a dagger that her father carried that her current kind of partner found.
Right.
That was made from her mother's fang when she was transformed. So she carries around this dagger that she never uses, but it's special to her because it was made from her mother's fang.
Frick. God damn it. See, this is what I'm saying that I love about these, is because your party is managing to create things that are not just magical in property. Mind you, you could probably use them in combat. That option is always there. But what I find more the enrichment I find in these is because of the amount of like investment, immersion, and like sentiment that goes into making these, right? Like you're not just buying them off of the market. You're actively letting your creativity go to being like, could I try this? And then having it after some sort of probable like skill challenge, to being like, okay, can I do this? What can I do? What do I need to do? Does it work yet? Maybe not. And then eventually it does work, and you're like, fuck, I made that shit. That's mine. That's my baby right there. Right? Because I'm so used to having to either find things that is like, okay, what do my players need? How do I supply this for them? But at the same time in my head is, how can I encourage my players to make something for themselves that overcomes what they think is a weakness in their character, or to bolster what is already there? Because it's, what's it called? It just feels better rather than just to like, oh, you find something really, really special. That's great. Sometimes it creates a story, but having like a personalized story to me feels just as, if not a little bit more satisfying.
Yeah.
Ooh, my favorite thing about these items is they are made in the first era of the story, during the highest point of magic in history. So thousands of years later, in the second or third era, these items like the coin or dagger would be these mythical objects or magical focus or legendary weapons. God damn it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's my favorite shit right there. Especially because I like, what's it called? For people who are familiar with D&D 5e or just D&D in general, there have been various weapons and even spells that have names attached to them. And a lot of people don't know where they come from, when if you look into them, a lot of them are just named after famous like players or even OG developers and whatnot of these games, right?
That's what
and
Claire
it's like,
Scythe is.
right? Oh shit. And then being able to create that for yourself in character that's my jam. That's my favorite part. Just not for my character. I'm gonna let that bury because I accidentally made a cock ring. But don't worry about it. No, it's just because of Morning Canaan, but that's just because of my unfortunate abbreviation for the name I came up with.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like Call of Cthulhu getting known as COC, and that happened with a ring that I made, where it was a ring, but when you abbreviate the actual name of it, it abbreviates to COC, and it's a ring. So I was like, I did that. I noticed it after I actually hit publish on D&D Beyond, where now it's out in the public, and I'm like, fuck.
I love that for you. That's so funny.
Yeah. But it's so much fun seeing people like create these things. Notice me, Senpai Kagure. I mean, I had to activate it the first time in game. I had to give it a bit of a kiss. Just go, mwah.
Oh,
oh man, but I love that. There's just a multitude of stuff like people create, and whether or not it's usable for any outside the campaigns and whatnot is always fun to kind of see because it's wild, but I find it even more fun to even like think about the thought processes that went into making them, right? That's like was there anything that Claire got to make for herself? I know that you had like the dagger and stuff, but was there anything that you got to make for Claire that had the most amount of that you feel had the most amount of like creativity and thought behind it?
Honestly, probably the coin, just because a lot of the story behind it is that because she follows Solon, and because of her armor, she was like, oh, I have to flip a coin. Okay, cool coin. But also
cool
her current partner, quote unquote, also told her that he has to flip a coin to make decisions. So she felt that it was like, words are hard. She felt that it would be she felt that it would like be able to have her kind of bond with him a little bit more, to have that in common. And that is a portion of why they bonded and got so close. But also I decided that the design on the coin is kind of an allusion to Solon.
Ooh.
Because the reason why she has to flip that coin to know her fate for her armor is because Solon is the one who cursed it.
Yeah. Also, it's like, it's not just because it's a coin for the thematic sake, but a coin because it's the most amount of perceived connection towards that. I'm in it. I like it. I'm in. Bet. Sold. God damn it. Again, I'm not jealous, but...
And I told Leon about it, and all I got in response was, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, then.
Oh, man. It's funny because now I'm having, like, my main... how do I say this? I think the most similar thing for me right now in my campaign while it wasn't created by the character, because it was something they found, it was like I'm having fun with seeing how it's Arson's character. I'm having fun with seeing how she deals with this sword she found, right? Like behind the DM screen, it was just a +1 sword, like a +1 longsword, magical, right? That she happened to find. No, it wasn't even her who found it. It was the party's ranger who happened to find it within the enemy's base, right? We're using a pre-written module, and the pre-written module is just like, hey, this exists in a treasure chest. It has this decoration. It has this name on it, being Talon, and it has a lot of bird themes. And beforehand, Arson was just like, I want to be a part of a cult. I want to be a part of the cult of the Raven Queen.
Ooh, okay.
And this is a goddess of death, fate, and winter, right? And so
Okay.
like she found this crypt with skeletons that happen to belong. Her and her backstory friend, the other player, were like, let's line up these skulls. Let's see if anything happens. And I'm like, fuck it, let's see what happens. So I improvised an entire vision that was just supposed to be like, yeah, I guess it's like a thing. It's fun. Lo and behold, everything starts to tie in together, and bird themes keep popping up, and I'm like, who's writing this? Am I writing this, or is Fate writing this? Because now she has a bird themed weapon that is, I'm just like, okay, bet. I didn't expect it, but now you have a thing that belonged to the previous champion. So let's see where you go. And the first moment she realized that it changed shape because of her is her being like, I want to focus on this sword every other moment that I can get. I'm like, yeah. I don't know what's going to happen either. Let's figure it out.
I love that.
Right? But it's so much fun seeing how she's just getting immersed with it, because it was just supposed to be like, you find this, have fun. But now it's building up to her character. Leon. One of the party members lost a sword that makes the wielder believe they are a classic vampire. Even though they aren't. And they never recovered it. There was an NPC out there who thinks they're a classic Dracula type vampire. They lost it in their session 0.
I believe that was Pidge. I'm thinking about it, I believe that was Pidge.
Oh man. You know that's gonna come back. I don't know how, but that's gonna be funny.
It's gonna be so funny.
I am. I need your blood. Yes, this sword, this got power. Oh man, that's such a minor curse that I love. Ooh. Speaking of curses, is there any other like I know your armor for Claire is cursed.
Yes.
Have you guys found any of the curses within the party so far?
Oh, we've had plenty.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Actually,
Okay.
So Leon had us roll on a table for our weapon and our armor, or we had the option to. Most of us did it because, you know, fun, cool. Anyway, so most of us rolled for curses to be placed upon either our weapon or our armor. So for Pidge, his first piece of armor, I believe, that he had, made it, and I believe he mentioned this when he was on with you last week. Whenever someone looked away from him, they forgot what he looked like.
I like that one. That's a fun one.
For Thero's weapon, she has the curse of when she's affected by the wet status, she will suffer continual damage equal to her minimum damage.
She's allergic to liquid.
Yeah, whenever she's wet, she just takes damage. She doesn't like being wet.
God damn. I know someone IRL who has that right now. That sucks. Oh man.
And then I believe let me grab the curse from my campaign 2 character.
Yes, this is how I stall you so that I can form a different question.
So for my campaign 2 character, she's actually a dual wielder. So one of her weapons, she needs to give it blood of her enemies.
Oh.
Otherwise, it'll take away her max HP.
Yeah. Oh shit! It's one of those.
Yeah, and then it also has a second curse where if she's around any ropes or chains, if there are any in her vicinity, they will try to restrain and strangle her.
Oh.
So she can't be around ropes or chains.
Well, there goes that kink.
I don't know. Maybe she likes being strangled.
Yeah, right? It's just like, that's just kind of funny. I was just like, well, now I can't be around ropes and chains. And then it's just like, oh, I need to go near ropes and chains.
It's also really funny because when I rolled that one, Leon was like, oh, yeah, this is one I wrote when I was like 15 or something.
The lost kink. The lost curse of kink. Oh, that's funny. God damn it. Oh,
But yeah,
ooh.
there's been a lot of them.
Yeah. By the way,
Hmm.
because I remember this was something I wanted to ask and totally knew I was going to tangent away from. I do want to rewind.
Okay.
Role playing, right? Because I know that you came from, you had experience role playing in like the forums as opposed
I
to like
did.
role playing at a table, as
Yes.
digitally as it is. How the frick did I just say those words? Okay. What would you say was the biggest difference going into them? Or how did you find yourself like shifting?
The main thing was just what I was role playing. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna be cringe for a second.
As we are, we're role players.
This was like middle school, high school Reina. So
Mm.
like she was 12 to like 16. I role played on a Warrior Cats fandom.
Wait, say that again.
Warrior Cats forum
I
fandom.
how
Yeah,
how is this such a popular thing? I know, mind you, I know nothing about warrior cats, but I keep hearing about it.
it's got a cult following.
Yeah, I was like, holy
It's
crap! It's got a surprising demographic to
yeah.
this day.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of it is just like it's been around for so long. I think the first book came out in like 2003, and it's still ongoing.
Jesus,
Yeah. So.
what? Please explain to me what warrior cats is like.
So basically, it's a bunch of these cats, and it's a
Mhm.
fantasy series. It's a bunch of these cats that live in clans, and they
Mhm.
have their own religion.
Blarp, stay for the phone. Yeah.
And it basically like tells the story of each arc follows like a certain character, and it
Oh.
goes through their arc, and then the next arc follows like a descendant of that character, like
Oh.
the original protagonist. Each or almost each arc afterwards has followed like one of his descendants.
God damn.
So it basically just like they're constantly fighting, there's not enough territory for all of the clans and things like that. I personally am like, current books aren't fantastic. The story
Mhm.
has very much taken a nosedive, but like
There's been a dwindle.
yeah, but the early arcs are actually really good. So I do highly
Yeah.
recommend like, the first 2 or 3. Those are really good actually, especially for like a fantasy story.
Yeah. How did people role play within Warrior Cats?
We made our own characters.
Like you made your characters, and is it just like you get involved with each other as I'm part of this and that clan, and this is the type of warrior cat I am, kind of a thing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Please, if for as much as you're willing to let yourself cringe a little bit, I need examples.
Oh my god. So okay. So actually, funny
Please.
story.
Yeah.
Claire's surname in Escape Wars is Silverleaf. That's her full name is Claire Silverleaf.
Yeah.
That was actually my very first Warriors OC that I made. um, she was very much like, she started off as kind of a nobody, but like
Yeah.
as the story that we were writing went on, she became like kind of a legend in the
Mhm.
clan, and she was just like a really good warrior, really good leader. Just kind of like became legend because of how good she was and how popular she was.
Mhm.
And so like I was able to follow with her descendants. So actually one of her children is what Claire's physical
Mhm.
appearance is based off of,
Yeah.
because I can't draw animals, so I would draw them as humans instead. So Claire has the surname sharing my first warrior OC, and then the appearance of her daughter, which I found really cool because when I told Leon, he just kind of like went silent for a second and then was just like, "Why are you doing this?" And I'm like, "It makes me happy, okay?"
Let me have this.
But character-wise, I found that I tend to play like not super smart characters per se,
Mhm.
but characters that are wanting to figure out the inner mechanics of their world and wanting to like create their own dynamics with people.
Honestly, that is one of my favorite aspects of intelligence, and something I covered in the past, because um, for what I have found in people playing intelligent characters is it can be a little bit dicey sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially there are people who have trouble with I've seen people have trouble with having to roleplay intelligence and not really
Yeah.
knowing how, right? Because it's like how do I just be smart? And I'm like, intelligence is a lot more than just being smart. Being smart is more or less a result from actually letting your character be willing to learn and being able to
Yeah.
like absorb information around them. Like, the first and foremost, I'd say in role playing intelligence is allow your character to actually be a fool, in a sense of like they're not like necessarily stupid, and they're not just like goofy. They might be goofy, but it's more about like their thought process being so experimentative that eventually there comes a point from they go from like student to scholar, right? Where
And
it's
that's
just-
what and that's something that I've been learning with Claire, is that
Mhm.
it started out that Claire was kind of just basically ice magic. That's all she knew,
Mhm.
all she wanted to know, all she wanted to deal with.
Yeah.
And then as time has gone on, I've really delved into the fact that she actually does want to learn about magic, just in general.
Just
She
like in
wants
general.
to learn all of this different
Yeah.
magic.
That's such a fun growth, though.
So like
Right?
while she still primarily uses ice magic, she
Yeah.
wants to learn. She has the ability to learn blood magic from her current partner. She's dipped her
Ooh.
toes into dark magic with her Shadow
Yeah.
Stitch spell.
Yeah.
She's learning water magic. She's learning arcane magic.
Yeah.
She's trying to learn fire magic again. And it's just like, I want all the knowledge. I want all the spells.
The growth from naive to wise is very good character development. Yes, it really is. It's so much fun. It's funny because it's to me, that's also what's really cool about that for Claire, is going from ice magic and then exploring outside of ice magic to magic in general. How do you think like, have you played with the thought of, okay, this is how she's become to discover magic outside of ice, right? But how has her thought process when returning to ice, which is her main and or favorite element to work with, like how has learning outside of it affected her train of thought?
I think she's realizing that, like, she can be greater
Mm-hmm.
than what limitations she's put on herself.
Mm-hmm.
Because when she was younger, like, she tried to learn fire magic from her mother when she was really young. And
Yeah.
backstory wise, she wound up burning her mother.
Ooh.
And so she vowed to never use fire magic again. She became scared of it.
Oh, she had that.
And
She had
so-
that Aang moment. Jesus.
Yeah, and so Leon played into that. And so
Oh,
in one
nice.
story, in one backstory session that, or roleplay that we did, the one where she almost became a slave,
Yeah.
she had gotten scared of fire magic that one of the mages were using, and that was what ultimately made it so that they were able to realize that she was a carbuncle. And then in another one,
Oh.
and then in another one, for the person who had seen her as a mentor, wound up dying because of a fireball spell.
Oh,
So she
fuck, dude.
attributed fire magic to something cursed and something that
Cursed and
takes people away from
destructive.
her.
Jesus.
Yeah, and so she became terrified of fire magic.
Ooh.
So, Theros
Ooh.
So Theros' character had gotten sick of it because she had been paralyzed with fear at one point because of a gate that was on fire.
Yeah.
And so Theros' character literally pulled her into a tent and set it ablaze and kept her in there and told her,
fuck,
you need...
explosion.
Yeah, and basically told her, you need to suck it up. This is hurting not only you, but the people around you. And it kind of opened Claire's eyes to be like, yeah, this fear is actually holding me back, but how am I supposed to get over this when everyone I know has died or gotten hurt because of fire? Or I've gotten hurt because of fire.
Yeah.
And so her mother wound up teaching her a spell that Leon created called Cold Fire, which is
Oh,
still
shit.
fire
Okay.
magic, but
Yeah.
it's blended with ice magic. and so it's not hot and burning and destructive. It's cold and something more akin to what she's used to.
I love the elemental dichotomy, but at the same time, because in my brain, dude, Avatar: The Last Airbender kind of changed up the way of viewing, like, not just magic, but in terms of like being able to bring about the thought process behind elementals and whatnot. And I love that so much.
Yeah.
How, in that sense, in her, like, has she overcome flames so far already, or is she like, is that still a journey for her?
That's still a journey for her. She hasn't
okay.
learned fire magic yet.
Okay,
It's actually
nice.
funny because Suki's character is all fire magic. She is a hellhound Darthorn, so she uses nothing but fire magic.
Yeah.
And so she and Claire were really at odds at the beginning, and Claire didn't trust her because, fire.
Yeah.
But they've actually become like fairly decent friends, and now that Claire is on this journey to learning fire magic, I'm probably gonna have her talk to Suki's character and learn fire magic from her.
Okay. I want to step into a little bit of more role play in this aspect, right? I would like to explore Claire's current mentality on like how she views magic. Like I was saying, like there is an emotional aspect of magic, right? Like formulas is one of the most, not necessarily generic, it's one of the most base levels of understanding magic from not even just a roleplay aspect, but from like a magical system aspect. Most people tend to study magic with, let's find the formulas, let's find the like the magic circles, the sigils, everything that kind of goes along with it, right? And then sometimes you end up with neglecting the emotional aspect of it, which I've been kind of finding more and more a fun thought experiment towards how high level spellcasters view magic to reach that, to reach their height of it. So right now what I want to explore is how in her thoughts does Claire think about the aspect of ice whenever she casts spells, right? Like I would say the most basic part is it's cold, it's ice, right? What I want to know is, thinking outside of that aspect, how does she view it? Or whenever she casts or feels it?
I think the main thing is just that it's a comfort for her, because I wrote her to eventually become this, like, as in her teen and early adult life, she was this very cold person who didn't get close to people and who didn't want people close to her because she was scared of losing people. So I think that's why I had her be tied to ice so closely, because while ice is cold, so is she. So she finds this type of comfort in it. And stepping outside of that comfort is like stepping outside of using ice magic.
Okay. Now, kind of sticking with the comfort. How about stepping deeper into that comfort? What would you say is, rather than the opposing magic of fire, right? Or in this case, depending on how you see it, where cold is the the absence of energy, right? In terms of like ice and flame. But what I want to know is what would be the most natural step in thinking about comfort? Like, what would be the next element, would you say, that fits Claire in terms of like not thinking of opposing, but rather like, oh, here's something I find comforting. There is comfort in the cold, in the peace of the silence that comes with winter. Like, where would you see she comes in next? Because I have thoughts, but I don't want to say them yet.
Honestly, probably the next element that she would use or want to master is blood. And that's because fair enough. And that's because again, her current partner and his family are blood magic users. So she would find the comfort in whenever she used blood magic, she would probably think of him and his family because they are people that kind of took her in and treat her as family
Yeah.
when she didn't have any. Or before she reunited with hers, I should say.
Oh my god. Okay. I like that fun thought. Especially because to me, blood in terms of like, oh shit, I just knocked on the door. Blood magic, at least in the concept of it, is leaning more towards heat. Because like being cold-blooded, actually, like, you know, cold-bloodedness tends to require less emotion and the stillness of it. And then being able to use blood is understanding how it must flow, the amount of emotions that go into it, and like, you know, the hotter the blood, the more emotion that comes with. So it's like, shit, you kind of going into like an ice and fire in the blood already.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of seeing it. Fuck.
And then piggybacking off of that, the next one
Yeah.
would probably be lightning, because another person who's close to her uses lightning magic. So she'd probably want to learn the magic of the people closest to her.
Oh man, that's such a fun step towards fire, though. It's just like it's like ice and water, then to blood, because it's one, liquid, and two, it's thicker than water, but also because, you know, warmth of blood, and three, then to lightning, which is I would say a step even further from fire, right? Because it's even higher energy, and then eventually lowering it towards fire. Also, god damn, thank you for the learning rates, Jesus. Mallory, God, like, wait, I didn't know you guys were still streaming. Well, there we go. Guards, it's me. Let me. I am the guards. God damn. How did stream finish, guys? Hold on. Who did I just? Yeah. There we go. And then Vel. Guys, go check them out. I know that they also, and wait a minute, Lottie? Wait, Lottie, you're here? Hold on. Duh, what up, Lottie? Jesus. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Shaved Tomato. I am the owner of this tavern behind me, the Yapping Porthole, that has been inspired by the Yawning Portal, if you know that one. And with me today is Reina Yukimura, which, guys, Reina, before we move on, one more time, let us know where we can find you, who you is, what's your social security number.
Hello, my name is Reina. I am a Shine Maiden Kitsune VTuber who likes to do cozy games and co-op games and friend swap games, all the games. I also do art.
Yeah.
And you can find me at twitch.tv/Reina Yukimura or on Twitter at, I guess, x.com/Yukimura_Reina.
It's Twitter, we all know it's Twitter.
It is
Oh
Twitter,
my God.
but you know.
Oh, God. It's ridiculous. Charlie Goblin. Everybody, thank you for the follows and thank you for the raids. Oh my god. Guys, if you got a raid and run, I fully understand. You guys have been streaming for a good long while, especially considering it's almost 3 hours just for us. That means you guys have been streaming for what? Almost 5? 6? Jesus. So if anyone has to raid and run, I fully understand. I am more than thankful for you all showing up. God damn. And if you're here to stick around, we're here with Ales at the Yapping Porthole, just exploring not only the fact that Reina is new to TRPG, right? But also, right now, we are exploring one of my favorite topics, which is the involvement of emotions in magic, right? The intentions behind magic and like spells and casting them. So we had been kind of discussing the various levels of character growth and things that Reina as a player had been overcoming and learning throughout the RPG, as well as the character, because I'm nerding the fuck out. 7. Jesus. Damn, 7 hours. But right now we were just exploring. Yeah, you're right. Let me hydrate real quick. Also, you should hydrate real quick if you got a
I will be. I will be.
Oh man. So we've been just kind of discussing Reyna's character Claire, who is a carbuncle Darthorn, right? If I'm remembering that, which is I'd say like a more of like a humanoid beast race, kind of like. There's always various ways to come up with like a humanoid beast race, but I love how people end up with naming them. But yeah, right now, what we have learned is that Claire had a trauma within the past, not even the trauma behind the past, various trauma in the past due to fire magic, and had found comfort within the magic of ice. So what we had been exploring thus far is one, the emotional comfort found in ice, and what is the most natural route for discovering magic outside of it as they are currently making their way. To which we finding out, oh god, the stretch! Yeah, you're right. Really? Oh god, you just want me to another hydrate? You know, you want me to water boy myself, fair enough. Dude, it's coming in from ice, then to blood, then to lightning, and then I don't know what comes next to that. Eventually, somehow, some way, hopefully to fire.
Yes.
But how about let's take a step back from how Claire views the comfort in ice. How would you say you view the we're nerding cringe level right now in role playing? How would you view the perspective of ice magic and like how that is affected by intentions? Because Leon caught on to what I was going for, and I fucking love you for it.
Well, VTuber wise for me, I am a Shrine Maiden Kitsune VTuber, but my element that I use is ice. I have always adored ice magic.
I have too.
It has always been something that I seek out when I play games. If I can play a mage and I can play ice magic, I am satisfied. I am so happy whenever ice magic is involved.
I'll make that shit right now. I love that.
I love the cold, and I think as a person, it always kind of throws people for a loop, because a lot of people are like, oh, you're so bubbly, you're so excitable, you must have this huge group of friends, and you must be so happy to have all these friends. And it's like, no, not really. I have a pretty like small circle, and I can actually be quite cold to people.
Yeah.
When given the circumstances, like depending on the circumstances. And I don't know, it's always been something that I've always wanted to be around. I don't know, words are hard. No,
I feel it.
It's just always been something that I've seeked out and been excited by and wanted to deal with and learn about in any fantasy situation that deals with magic. Ice magic is always the first thing I go to.
Dude, yeah. Me is similarly, ice and water have been one of my biggest favorites, which is funny because I actually really like wind, and I'm with Leon there with lightning. In fact, ice, water, wind, and lightning, which if you put them all together are just an aspect of, like, put them all together and you create an aspect of storm, right?
Yeah.
And that is one of my favorite things so far. And if like trying to find ways to do that in characters has always been one of my favorites. Again, Avatar: The Last Airbender kind of changed up the way I thought of magic, especially when you find with the specifically the episodes in Aang learning firebending, which is hilarious to me. That is kind of the journey that you ended up with Claire of learning fire, right? Where they had to learn it's not so much about destruction, but rather the drive and the energy and the life that comes with harnessing flame, right? Which ties in more to how I was thinking with blood magic, where it's like there's a liquidness to it, right? But at the same time, having blood and water kind of being like an aspect of ice magic together is also like, one, what brings you to allow ice to melt and flow like water, and two, thicken like blood, right? Not to drop breadcrumbs here, but combo magic in Escape Wars TRPG does create new elements, and storm magic is fully possible. What I'm saying, that's my favorite shit right there. But like, one of my favorites too is in ice, and again, going cringe-wise, is bringing IRL experiences with it, because you brought up finding comfort in ice, and to me, more than just ice was, I spoke about the stillness that comes with winter. Was I used to walk home from school like as a senior, not as a kid. Jesus Christ, that's dangerous. Don't do that. But yeah, sometimes I would walk home from school because it wasn't that far, and it would just be so damn quiet when everyone is either inside, there's no cars around, there's no sounds because most birds have probably migrated already. And so the only sounds you hear are your own footsteps and maybe the occasional car. And it was so surprisingly quiet and still that I'm like, you don't get this from other seasons. Like, there's just something about it, right? So with me, when coming to like ice magic, it's again, there is an aspect of it of having a resolution of that stillness, of like every time you do something, right? Like if you shoot a spell, like an ice spell in D&D would be ice knife, right? The thought that comes behind it is you're trying to create a thought that is as sharp as possible, knowing that whoever you're aiming it at, you're aiming to hurt them, or because that thought is so clear. But at the same time, when it comes to the social aspect of it, within the person who uses ice magic,
right,
there is an emotion, like there's a level of what normally you'd think is standoffish, right? Like, because again, there's not much emotion in it, there's not much energy, but who do you let melt that? Like, there's like creating emotional walls within yourself is always something that is fairly normal to people. And if you're here thinking about ice magic, you don't realize that there are thoughts around you that you enclose yourself into that iceberg. So who do you let melt is kind of
so
like
as a person who's able to get like past that wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, okay. Well, the first person, I obviously would have to say Pidge. They are my best friend, have been my best friend for since I met them, basically. Another person is Leon, just because he and I have had like a lot of late night conversations of just life in general. And for those of you who don't know, Leon actually is certified therapist? Question mark?
Wow.
Correct? Is that right, Leon? Please correct me if I'm wrong. And he's very good at what he does, even if he doesn't like fully practice. He is very much someone who has lived life to the best of his ability and has a lot of experience in certain things that he's able to call upon to help others. And he has very much been someone who has helped me a lot in the past few months since I've been speaking to him, both in and outside of Escape Wars 2. I feel like outside of Escape Wars, of course, he's been like a friend and someone I can talk to, but in Escape Wars, I think he's seen things that I can relate to with Claire, and like we stated previously, D&D can be very cathartic and therapeutic, even if it's not technically therapy. But I feel like Leon has given a lot of instances in seeing things that are happening to Claire that can help me too, and he's been able to drive me in a direction that has made it a little bit easier for me to get that therapeutic feeling.
Yeah. God damn, it's my favorite part. It always becomes so much. It becomes so meaningful too, because there's a part of your mind that knows you're separating yourself from character, but at the same time, like I said, there's always that character bleed that happens where eventually you come to realize there is a line between self and character, but eventually, like, you are still the character in some way. Like, there's always going to be a bigger part of you that shows in the character, you just don't notice. Like, for me, intelligence characters, I had to learn how to play them and learn that it wasn't just about being smart, but rather being more investigative and just simply being not only able to, but willing to learn. And yo, Keegan Willett. And in this case, eventually I found out, like, oh shit, I guess I can be a lot more seemingly eloquent than I thought I would. So that definitely has improved my confidence over the years. Oh man,
for sure.
But yeah, dude, it's so much fun. I love these thought thingies. He said just after being like, yeah, I can be a little bit more eloquent than I can be. This is not one of those moments. I'm not role playing as my character. He knows that. Oh man. Is outside of ice magic though, right? Have you ever played the thought? Have you ever played around with the thoughts of the other magics and how you might have been able to see them as Claire if, like, before you locked in on ice?
For Claire specifically, no.
So it was just ice all the way through.
Yeah, as soon as I was given the option to make a magic user, I was like, ice 100%. I will say for my next characters, my campaign 2 character for the next campaign is going to be more melee based, but she's gonna use dark magic rather than ice magic. Even though she's Claire's daughter, she's gonna
they're not too far.
Lean more into dark magic. And then my third campaign character, because I'm a crackhead and I love making characters for this series because it's really, really fun to just roll characters in general. She's gonna be even more melee based, but she's gonna be a poison type of character.
Oh, that's fun. Going into like I want to ask a little bit more about dark, but poison is such an interesting one, right? Because it's one of those like elements both in magic, weaponry, and like, you know, just TRPG in general that you know, it's fun to try to work around, but at the same time I haven't seen too many people play into it more than they can. I mean, into it more than like the norm of like, oh, poison weapons, you debuff someone, you do a thing, you know, it's a way to deal extra damage. But I am interested in being like, okay, what kind of brought you into poison as like a thought, and how would you like to do?
So me and Ari have an idea for third campaign, where first campaign has a lot of very important characters. We have Claire, we have Ari's character, we have Ari's character's husband, Claire's current partner, and all of their bloodlines are very significant. So for third era, we made characters that are descendants of all of those bloodlines converging.
Oh.
And so we have the Silverleaf, which is me, who has the Twilight mantle that's very important. We have the Vara bloodline, which is Claire's current partner. His bloodline is very much about blood magic. We have Ari's character's bloodline, which is like creation magic and light magic and
creation magic. Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
So all of these bloodlines converging into these two characters, because we're playing twins, are it's going to be really fun for Leon to play or to dive around, I'm sure. But B, it's going to also be very fun for us because we're going to have all of these tiebacks to these characters that have become so important to us, but also to the story as a whole. And I'm just really excited. I want to play this so bad. I can't wait, and I can't do it right now because we obviously have to get through the rest of this campaign and a whole other campaign. But like,
do you have early thoughts about the concept of dark magic? Like,
so for dark magic, it's very much like a lot of the spells that Leon has written for dark magic specifically. Of course it's an elemental magic, but a lot of it is like intertwined with the type of like fear of darkness too.
Yes,
because
I love that shit.
Because there's actually a spell. There's actually a spell called Devour, and I will read this. The caster's face distorts into a vicious, shadowy figure with gnashing teeth. The caster then makes a melee magic attack against a target. On the hit done by this attack, the target's total HP is taken, and then the caster then heals for half of the damage done. So it's like the fear of darkness, and then you get also lifesteal out of it.
Yeah.
So it's just
it's one of those things that it's just like that seem to get more powerful the more people tend to fear it. Yes.
Yeah.
It plays on the fear of darkness in and of itself and what lies beneath. Ooh.
Yeah.
Question though. Have you thought about like how much have you given thought of the essence of dark magic? Because I want to lead up into a bit of a question, but I want to know your thoughts so far on it, right? Like there's the spells that are they're like just like that spell. There is the aspect of that where is usually perceived as I guess somewhat quote unquote evil, right? There's always that that stigma around it, right? But what are your thoughts around that type of element?
Ooh, I want to play because the character that I'm making for campaign 2 is very like not jovial, but like she's very bouncy and hyper. But she also is blood hungry because of her lineage.
Yes.
So I want to play into the fact that this very bubbly, outgoing character uses such dark magic that people fear and can very much kind of corrupt her in a sense, possibly. And I feel like Leon can agree with me and is probably going to make it happen. But like, I want to have, because of her lineage, she can be corrupted because her lineage and her bloodline on her father's side is very much tied to the demons of Escape Wars, like the demon side of things. Man. So she could be corrupted that way, corrupted by her dark magic, having to deal with having two very important bloodlines flowing within her in general.
Yeah.
And I just wanted something that, I wanted a type of magic that wasn't samey to Claire, because I've already that. But I wanted something that could like tie in those aspects, because darkness isn't necessarily something that you always have to fear. You can also find comfort in it too, of like having your own time, of being by yourself, of having your own mindscape that you can.
Yeah. Okay. So we in it. We in the same boat. I like this. I was like, man, this is one of my favorite parts of like viewing dark magic, right? Because of the stigma, and it's usually often viewed as like mainly evil kind of a thing. So I've always tried to play the thought of how do you play a seemingly evil element towards a more not necessarily happy-go-lucky, but towards like a positive aspect of where it's like, to oppose how it's normally viewed, and what journeys can come out of it, right? And because you spoke about you can find comfort in the darkness as such, and I was just like, that's what I'm saying, that's what I'm talking about. Especially because there is also that aspect of ice within it, so it's not technically far off, right?
Yeah.
Like I eventually love the journey of finding dark magic towards shade magic, because that's essentially the same thing, right? But you're not necessarily dealing with what happens with people fearing the dark, but rather finding the comfort in it. Because
Yeah.
if you're thinking about darkness, sometimes you forget that like the shadow of a tree comforts you from being burnt from the sun. It is also what you seek most whenever it's too hot to bring you some coolness, a level of peace. Doing it sometimes brings about the breeze of the wind in the same way that a winter wind also comes crawling in. It's just that winter usually is just an excess of that darkness because it's just so clouded. But Kingdom Hearts cringe style, the brighter the light, the darker the shadow. And in that sense, it's like darkness really is just like, how do you face the unknown? And to an aspect of it would be like, one, I understand if like someone comes into it afraid of it, right? Like, how do you overcome in character the fear of your own magic, and how do you where does that bring the character, and how does that affect them emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, and their social security number? Now, because
I feel like that's
yeah.
I feel like that's something that me and Leon are gonna have a lot of fun with, because
It's certainly a lot of fun already.
the race that my second campaign character is someone who has like a birthright magic.
Yeah.
And her birthright is dark magic.
Yeah.
But because she is this like bubbly character who wants to fight and wants to like deal with things in that aspect, I feel like he and I are gonna have a lot of fun.
Oh man,
having
I
her
say
try,
stuff, I don't.
having her try and figure out how to navigate having this another darkness in her, basically.
And I love playing with the thought of fear within the dark magic as well, and it's like especially when it leads up to like shade in general. One, throw shade. Hey, yo, insult whoever you want. No, I'm kidding. But it's like diving into the aspect of fear within that dark magic is one, you have to face your own eventually and realize how to manipulate, maybe not necessarily manipulate, sometimes guide that fear, especially when you're thinking about yourself and the others around you. Right? Which is why I'm hesitant to say it, because I want you to have that fun with Leon, but at the same time I've already had these thoughts.
Oh no, you can go ahead. I already have an idea of what I want to do.
Yeah, because for me it's like when you're dealing with dark magic and with like fear, if you're doing it usually like if you have like the Sith and whatnot, they rely on the raw level of fear and for people to be afraid of them to gain power. But if you think of it from the comforting space, you have the chance as a character who is trying to do good with magic that you normally would fear, as to take the fear from someone else and use it as your strength, right?
Yeah.
It's like for the people in a debuff sense, you debuff your enemies by causing fear in them, but you what's it called? You help encourage bravery through the people on your side, through allies and friends, by helping them see that what they fear is not as scary as it was, by revealing some sort of truth with it. So I'm like, however you end that sentence, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's fun. You eat their fear. Eat their fear. Oh man. That being said, I think we're kind of nearing near the end, so about like 15 minutes or more.
Okay.
And that's probably where we're gonna go. So I'm reaching the last few questions. Man, how do I dig us out of this nerd? This nerd hole. Oh man, but I love just kind of diving into these. What would you say is an aspect of the game, either the game for Escape Wars or TRPG in general, that you think you would love to explore further that either you haven't gotten a chance to do so yet, or has popped up within like some level of recentness, that you're just like, wait, that was interesting, I want to do a little bit more of that?
Oh, just figuring out lore. Just I've always been a story-driven person. It
Mhm.
reflects in the anime I watch, it reflects in the manga I read, it
Oh
reflects in the
boy.
games I play. I love a good story, and I love being able to learn about the lore of the worlds and the characters and the story, and
Yo.
I want to know everything. I'm I just want to know everything about this world that Leon has introduced to
Mhm.
us, and I can't because a lot of it plays into future campaigns and stuff that we
Yeah.
don't know yet, and so he has to keep me in the dark. But oh my god, the amount of times that I've asked this man to be like, "You just dropped breadcrumbs. Can I know? Can I have a hint? Can I please have a hint? Can I have
Oh
something
man.
as a treat?"
Mama Cammy, welcome. Question: do you take notes on
Oh,
who is
oh,
the
do
note
I take
taker?
notes? Oh,
You
do
know
I
what?
take notes,
Thank
Tomato?
goodness. Oh
Tomato.
boy.
I
Yep.
have a 47-page Google Doc of our current campaign,
Oh yeah,
dog.
that's right, you do.
I
I
take
totally
notes
just remember
every.
you do.
I take notes on everything.
Yeah.
Bro. Every RP I do, every session we have, I am taking
Yeah.
notes.
Oh boy. Oh my god. Oh, I am curious as well. Who would you say, like, does the party um have a face or leader that you have taken note
Ooh,
of?
ooh. If we have had a face, it's switched between people. I don't
Ooh.
think we necessarily like have a leader of the party. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
like all of us, sans Blue, because again he's just a power player.
Yeah.
Um, which all the more power to him. Could not be me, but um, if I had to choose one person, it would probably. I want to say Claire, and that's not to toot my
Mm-hmm.
own horn, but I think
Yeah.
she's just the person who like has the greatest balance of all of the personalities in the
Mm-hmm.
in the party, because like she has Cyrus's loyalty, she has Elenia's hunger for knowledge, she has Rowan's ruthlessness when it comes to certain aspects.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like if I had to choose, it would probably be her or Elenia.
Yeah. And honestly, sometimes you just end up in that spot without knowing. Sometimes, especially it's like,
Yeah.
sometimes one of the characters just ends up being like a nexus for others, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, what I have found, at least, sometimes the leadership role isn't so much about coming up with the decisions for the party, but rather the one who tends to take in um, the most consideration for the party and knowing who to kind of turn to when the time comes, right? At the
Yeah.
same time, it's just like, if someone needs someone to turn to, they're willing if it happens, but at the same time, oh, I am Leon's wife. I take all the notes. But yeah, that has always been a fun part, especially because my character also fell into the seeming leadership role, mainly due to seniority, but also because a bunch of us have switched characters and had players leave.
Mm-hmm.
That my character
Okay.
is just one of the OGs. So,
Okay.
um, I mean, a character with -2 charisma taking the lead in conversations because the other players don't want to speak. That just happens. Sometimes it also just
Yeah.
happens. I don't. Trying to figure that one out in roleplay. Jesus Christ, that was a
Yeah, it does
nightmare.
happen.
Oh man. Uh. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Just because I brought my character, not that I will bring up more of the character, but more of like the aspect of it, where I
Okay.
did tell Pidge where my character tends to speak a little bit more eloquently, right? Because he's not because he's more intelligent, but like that level of intelligence gives him the information of, uh, knowing how to act towards who, and like, uh, you know, kind of
being
code
able
switch
to
between two
pick your
people.
way through things. Yeah.
Exactly. And that kind of caused my character to speak in different ways that when I role play them, language and words tend to flow a lot better, and where I start to realize I can pick my words much better. But as soon as I step out of that character, like, for anyone listening, you've probably heard me say and like as in the hesitations, a lot of that disappears whenever I go into character more than I actually realized. Has that happened to you and Claire at any point when you kind of just realize, like, she's got her mannerisms that really only exist whenever you play her?
Oh yeah, especially when I type out my roleplay, like in between downtimes. I found that like over the years, of course, I've gotten to a point where I type a lot more formally than I used to, but also with Claire specifically, the way she speaks is a little bit different to me because I'm very like to the point when I speak usually, because I usually say the first thing that comes to mind.
Yes.
With Claire, she does speak a little bit more eloquently, and she does kind of word things differently when she's trying to say something, depending on who she's speaking to. So, like, if she's speaking to Cyrus, because they're so close, she kind of just says the first thing that comes to her mind, like I would. But if she's talking to someone like Rowan, she's much more diplomatic with her words and tries to speak in a way that makes it seem like she's much more of a leader and of someone of status than what she actually is.
Follow-up question. Have you ever found yourself in situations since playing this character where you're like outside of the game, where you're like, oh, I myself am kind of trash at handling this kind of a situation, but I know a character who has overcome this kind of situation. Let's roleplay a character role-playing me IRL.
I have done that. I have had a few situations where I've had to be a little bit more diplomatic with my words and having to like kind of walk on eggshells with what I'm saying so that I don't come across as ignorant or someone who doesn't really know what they're talking about and something like that. It's rare. It's not usually something that comes up, but when it does, it is very nice to be able to kind of act upon that type of thing.
Right. To step out of your own skin and just like let your brain kind of switch gears and just be like, I need this character to just take the wheel a little bit because they can probably do this better than I can. I love that kind of character bleed. Dangerous depending on how much it is relied upon and how if it's like a negative bleed, but certainly helpful when you're just like, well, let's let the voices win real quick.
Yeah.
I found that it has made me a little bit more confident in since playing, because again, this conversation stream would never have happened had I not gone into not gone into TRPG and playing the various characters that I have. Leon does that a lot. He has to control the rage of Leon constantly. Oh. Oh wait, Leron?
It's Leon.
Okay, I was like, I was like, who's Leron? That's a new character. New character incoming. No, but yeah, no. Boy, man, this has been so much fun. Kind of seeing like it's been a minute since I've had the fresh perspective of newer players and role players. So I've definitely been enjoying this. Right? Not that we're ending right now, even though it seems like I'm being like, we're about to end this on a good lesson. Oh my god, I like that part too. No. What would you say has been the most, maybe I don't want to say exciting, but more of like, what do you think was the most fulfilling experience you've had since you began role playing within TRPG? Like,
oh my gosh,
like right, like not so much the build up beforehand, but more of just like, how have you handled approaching various aspects of life, gaming, storytelling, and whatnot, versus like before and then after where you're at now?
That's such a good question. I don't know if I have like a full answer for that.
I love it though. Let's pick your brain.
I don't really think anything has changed.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just become more concentrated, if that's the right word. Because like I said, I've always been someone who goes after story above all else. Like
Mm-hmm.
gameplay, like take a game for example. Gameplay can be kind of lackluster or kind of repetitive or whatnot, but if there's a good story, I'm hooked. Like I want to play it for the story. I don't necessarily want to play it for the gameplay. Gameplay is a bonus to me. So going into TTRPGs and Escape Wars in general, I feel, because we were talking about it earlier, we're definitely spoiled with the story and the richness.
I love it for you.
And the richness that Leon has created in this scape, and it's I don't want to glaze him too much because he's gonna go into my DMs and be like, shut the fuck up. But I feel like it's gonna be very difficult for me to go to, if I do ever have another DM, it's gonna be a little bit difficult for them to live up to this, but that's just based on experience.
No, I feel that. I feel
how much Leon has done, and he knows this he knows this story really well because he's the one who wrote it. Plus, he has all of his DMing experience from beforehand. So it's not really fair to judge other people based on that, but also
that's definitely really good insight to come in with to other tables. Yeah.
But just based on like what I've seen and what I've heard and what I've been told in this story, I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's so much that I want to still see, and so much I still need to see, and all this information that we still don't have yet. And oh, it's so good. It's such a good story, and I cannot wait to see more of it.
Dude, it's funny to me that like we kind of reached a lot of very similar conclusions, right? Like, you know, because of like TRPG role playing, whatnot. But I was actually coming in from closer to an opposite aspect, or at least I was coming in from more gameplay and stat building, right? Like I was more or less a min-maxer power gamer before I got into TRPG, but eventually kind of got bored in it within video games, where it was just like where there was a
and whatnot.
Right, like there was just an aspect of video games that I felt like I was missing, or at least I didn't realize that I had actually liked more until I stepped into role playing in TRPG, where now I actually tackle games much more differently, because to me story really does play a lot more for me, right? Like like now I don't care so much about like meta or what is most optimized for my character in terms of like power and ability, but rather optimizing towards character and story as much as possible.
Right.
Like with Claire being mostly ice magic in the beginning, I used to go, I need all the things, except in Baldur's Gate 3. That's where I still need all the things. But it's like beforehand it was all those things, and only had it been in the recent years where I finally let go of those things and be like, I need a concept, I want to focus on like at least one element, and even if it would be really powerful for me, I'm not going to take that, and instead going to take the thing that makes me feel like my character's aesthetic slash aesthetic and themes much more than feeling like what's it called, taking an ice sorcerer and being like, yeah, but they cast fireball though. Yeah, but fireball's really nice. Yay. Sweet. Oh man. So that was fun. Honestly, like you said, gameplay becoming like a bonus aspect has been so much fun for me, because it definitely changed up the way I play games, and it just they feel so much more slow burn and satisfying. Being part of the world, not being king of the world. Yes. Yeah. It's like it really does bring a level of immersion that is just
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's the thing that I look for most in anything is just immersion. Like
yeah.
if I can picture myself as a person in
Hmm.
this world or try and find someone already in the world that I can
Yeah.
see myself in, I'm just like, okay, that's a winner. That's a winner right there.
Yeah. It's if wait, have you played Skyrim?
I've seen Skyrim. I haven't gotten the chance to ever play it
So
myself
there's
though.
usually the ETA to Stealth Archer because Stealth Archer in Skyrim tends to be one of the best, if not the best, build because it's just so easy to just be like, I don't want to get into trouble, and it just feels good to fire an arrow from a mile away and kill things in one shot.
Yeah.
But because of it, no matter like it's become an actual pattern where no matter what aspect a lot of people tend to build into, eventually they find their way to being a stealth archer, and fighting that
Right.
instinct to do so had become a challenge, as well as being like how do you bring about the replayability in a game like that, especially when TRPG and like D&D and other stuff like that is pretty much fighting that instinct so that you can stay in character. You haven't
Yeah.
played Skyrim? You know what that means. Let's go.
I've
Okay.
not played Skyrim. She's gonna make me play Skyrim when I move down there. Oh no. I can feel it in my bones.
It'll be fun. Oh man. Okay, but we are kind of reaching, so I would like to say I am currently stalling and thinking about the final question. Uh, I guess one of the first questions I do want to ask is, as a new player,
Mhm.
what were you most scared about in coming into this campaign or TRPG in general?
Feeling like I wouldn't be good enough for the party. Feeling like I would either weigh them down with my decisions or my
Mhm.
inexperience, of not knowing what to do, and them not really resenting me, because like we're all friends.
Mhm.
We're not actually gonna resent each other for any decision we make, but
Yeah.
like feeling like we're not making the progress we should be because
Yeah.
I'm not doing well enough. But that was very much nipped in the bud very, very early on.
Really?
Even in my session 0, because I had missed something and Leon just like subtly nudged me in the right direction.
Yeah.
And then afterwards he was like, "Hey, what did you think of that?" And I'm like, "Oh, I was really nervous and I didn't know what to do, and I know you had to like kind of hold my hand through it." And all he's I forget exactly what he said because it wasn't recorded, but
Yeah.
he said something along the lines of, if you ever feel the need to ask a question, and I think that's where the "there's no stupid questions,
Yeah.
only stupid answers" type of thing came into play. And he's like, there's never a question that I'm not going to answer for you. It just might not be the answer you want to hear. And I was just like, oh,
Oh
okay.
shit! I love that one. Yoink.
Because like I can ask any question. I could be like, "Ooh, what does this do?" And I can want to know what it does, but he can be like, "Well, you'll find out soon enough," type of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Frick, I love that. And honestly, that is one of my favorite parts of the TRPG scene. Is especially when you find a good table. One of the best parts is getting to realize that the more welcoming part of TRPG is knowing that one, we want more people to play so that we can trick them into becoming a GM in the future so that we can play. But it's also just because it's a hobby where you just find that, what's it called? Inexperience is just also a way to find fresh eyes. Like for me, as like I said, for me as a what, almost 6-7 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Coming. Oh no. Yeah. 6 to 7 years now is finding, like, hearing the different stories from like newer players and seeing how they view various spells and problems, and sometimes they find things that I wouldn't have even thought of, and it's so interesting, right? Like, because it's like you're not bound by the rules and you're not bound by the filters that have been created by your own mind after playing for so long.
Right.
And so, what's it called? Letting go of an aspect of control, both as a GM and as a player, is also a challenge, because trying to teach someone else is at the same time being like, I want to teach you how to play the game, but I don't want to affect your gameplay too much that you're doing essentially everything I'm doing, when all I was doing is just learning from people and creating my own filter, right?
Yeah.
And it always becomes a bit of a challenge, but it's fun. It's a fun journey. And then that being said, and because I mean, you kind of already touched on it, right? And like how you kind of already overcame that fairly early on. So I guess one of my questions is, as a new player, what would you say would be your best, not best, what would you say it would be like a good place to start for other new players who might be afraid but interested in joining TRPG games, especially like how to find a table or like a group of friends to play with, or even like coming in from strangers?
Ooh. Find, if it's gonna be your first time, find people who know you as a person. I know it's difficult, especially if you have friends that aren't into TTRPGs, but you have a group of friends that's into the subject, and if you have a really good DM, that goes a long way. Being able to have someone, at least one or two people, who know you as a person and can kind of understand your thought process behind a character or what decisions you might make, that helps a lot, because then you have that person to bounce off of. And as you're learning your character, you're also learning about everyone else's character, so you can kind of find a good balance of being able to bounce off of everyone. And you may be strangers at the end of the day, for the most part, but you do genuinely find that connection of being able to understand the person even more so. Because like I said, my current table is all of Revelry, literally my best friends, and there are still sides to their character that I'm learning about through this campaign that I didn't know existed, because it had just never come up before.
God damn, it's so much fun, like the journey to find out more about the people around you, especially what this hobby brings out from you that you didn't realize at first, is always so interesting and fun, just because it's like, one, it's a way to come out of your shell, and it's really just generally fun, right? But it's what I find meaningful in it is learning about yourself just as much as like how much you actually can take, right? Because you don't get an environment, for the most part, a lot, to be not so much like, I know we play these games to step into a character who's different from yourself, but the truth is you're kind of realizing who yourself is sometimes, or at least I hope you do. And then it's just like you step out of your character to find out who you really are. You step into your character to find out who you really are. There you go. And it's so much fun. That being said, I'm gonna start us a raid, but while that's kind of getting started, Reina, one more time, who are you? Where are you? Where can we find you? What's your social security? What is your favorite color? What type of water do you prefer? Say it.
Oh my goodness. Hi, my name is Reina Yukimura. I'm a Shine Maiden Kitsune VTuber who likes to do all sorts of games. We love Friend Swap, we love co-op games, story games, yada yada. You can find me at twitch.tv/Reina Yukimura, or on Twitter at x.com/Yukimura_Reina. And as for those extra questions, my favorite color is teal. My favorite water is sparkling water, as long as it's flavored. And yeah, that is me.
Well. Okay, but before that, I have to replace these, because I always keep forgetting to replace these with a boat. I gotta do this. Guys, thank you for coming in. My name is Shaved Tomato. I am the owner of the Yapping Porthole. Frick. I have written down the raid message below, and I am currently panicking to write the thing. There we go! If you're a follower, you have access to my butt. If you don't, well, that's, you get hearts. But either way, we are raiding into Overcompensating, who is currently playing Minecraft for Crafting and Vibes. I am speaking as fast as I can. I hope you had fun being with me and Reina today. I will catch you on probably next Thursday, so we'll find out. Everybody, have a great rest of your day, time zone. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. Stay juicy.
Bye.
Oh.